Where are the low-value men?
The hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site. If you can believe that, you can believe that, you can believe that.
Contracted COVID, but says with a mixture of medicines, including the controversial horse dewormer that has poisoned hundreds of people nationwide, he's now recovered.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
From the headlines to the whisper star, low value mail, low value mail at 9 o'clock, where truth and fiction take a walk.
Why don't you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon? You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
Our stories are.
Welcome back, Scroats, to an all-new episode of Low Value Mail on this Monday, October 13th, 2025, the year of our Lord. It is episode number 162 of Low Value Mails, and tonight, it's all open lines. I know it's been a couple weeks since the last episode. A lot happened. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. For those of you not in the loop, unfortunately, my beloved Connor passed away last Tuesday. It was really crappy, the whole thing. He fought hard at the end there. He gave it a good effort, but unfortunately, his little heart just gave out, and it is very sad news. I know some of you weren't quite in the loop. I wasn't really feeling like posting this shit everywhere, but that's what happened. He died on October 7th. Make of that what you will. I do have a photo of him kissing the wall. Suspicious? I don't know. But anyways, rest in peace to Connor. He was the greatest co-host the show had ever had, even though he only had one episode and he didn't say one word the entire time. But yet the greatest co-host the show has ever had. But the show must go on. And I'm a little sick. I missed the week before because I was sick. Then my dog dies. The fucking Blue Jays are losing right now. Goddamn. Can this year end, please? Jesus. What a fucking nightmare. And by the way, a lot of you sent me messages. I really appreciate all the messages, the kind messages, the heartfelt messages. I know this is the first dog I've ever had that I've lost. So I'm sure some of you have dealt with this before, but this is new to me. And boy, I would trade 5 of my fucking family members for a week back with my dog. All right. The show must go on. Unfortunately. That's how it must be. There's a lot happening. A lot has been going on in the past few weeks. I'm going to cover a couple of them, and we'll open the phone lines. It'll be open lines all night. Whatever you want to talk about, fair game tonight. Main things, obviously, the Israel-Palestine conflict is over. Is it? I mean, they're saying it is. It seems like it is. It's hard to believe it is, but they are saying it is. James Comey, former head of the FBI, indicted like 2 weeks ago. That's pretty crazy. Government shutdown. Who gives a shit? I literally have lived here for 6 years now. Every 3 months, they're like, we're shutting the government down. And they go, okay, we're not shutting it down. 3 months later, they go, we're shutting the government down. They go, all right, we're not shutting it down. We made a deal. Now the government shut down. Nothing changes. I guess you can't go to some national parks or some shit. What a scam this whole thing is. Literally just fire half of them. Just fire half of them, be done with this. But I guess they can't do this. But so, Israel, Palestine. The war is officially over. At least for now. And kudos to Donald Trump for making it happen. The Orange Man did it again, by God. And look, we all know Kamala would have never made it happen. If Kamala was president, man, could you? It's hard because at the end there, near the election, you go, this is just a coin flip, huh? It's hard to think of what the world would be like if Kamala Harris was the president. Just a strong, black, drunk woman as the president would have been a sight to behold. Now, I may be cynical in my old age. I might be, but I just really do not feel like this will be permanent. This has been in my almost 42 years on Earth. This just seems like a thing that just repeats itself. This is just a cycle at play. Goes from wartime to peacetime, back to wartime, back to peacetime, etc. And now look, it might be 5 years, might be 10 years, but my gut says we'll be back here at some point. Unless maybe if Palestine is granted statehood, which does not appear to be part of this 20-point peace plan dealie. So, and even if they were, I can't imagine that they're like, all right, thanks for our state, blood feud over. And Palestine does have amazing opportunity here to put this blood feud behind them. My feeling is there's only a very slight chance they take it. I mean, they have apparently $50 billion in infrastructure spending coming their way. Now, granted, I think 92% of all of Gaza was destroyed. So, you know, they're going to have to be spending that money. A lot of it, you know how corrupt those places are. A lot of that money's getting siphoned. They're saying 50 billion. I'm like, we're talking 40 maybe if we're lucky. 10 billion just disappears. It's just the cost of doing business if, you know, just got to grease people. But the Palestinians did give the hostages back. All 20 of them have been returned. So it's really unclear what leverage they even have anymore. Like, so, you know, there is an element of trust on their part where they're saying like, look, okay, we'll give you these 20 hostages back, I guess, and some dead bodies. All the dead bodies at that point, you go, well, if they're dead, like, I mean, obviously families want their bodies of their loved ones back, but, you know, really you want the alive ones. So we'll see. I know one of the parts of the whole peace plan thing was that Hamas has to disarm, and they're already executing people in the streets. I don't know if you can see in these videos, but man, they did not hesitate. Israel pulled out of there and they go, all right, round up all the collaborators. Time for some swift street executions. A little swift Hamas justice, if you will. So they're executing people in the streets. So not great. Not a great start, but maybe they're just like, yeah, we just have to get these ones out of the way. It's not going to be like a daily street execution thing. We had a list, and just once they're out of the way, then we can go just rebuilding, a Mediterranean paradise, the way Trump sees it. And I mean, maybe Israel breaks a ceasefire. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking that's going to happen. I wouldn't completely rule it out, but man, Trump would be so fucking pissed with Netanyahu if that happened. Holy shit. He would be so mad. And I know a lot of you are like, well, yeah, Netanyahu controls Trump. The Jews control America. And if he goes and breaks the ceasefire and there's just no repercussions, then maybe that's true. I don't believe that's the case, and I highly doubt that happens, but we shall see. I am sympathetic, I will say, to all the people that made this entire war their full identity. But thankfully there's always a new thing. There'll be something new. What that is, hard to predict. What's good right now? Maybe they go back to, I don't know what they'll go back to. That's a tough one, right? But, and it's been said a million times online already, so I'm kind of repeating what other people are saying. But you have to admit, it is a little odd. No celebrations in the streets anywhere outside of Israel for the end of the war. I mean, look, when Joe Biden got elected, I don't know what it was like where you guys live. I lived in Brooklyn. When Joe Biden became president, remember it was like a Saturday afternoon and they just announced it. They're like, he won. And I literally woke up that day to cheering. That's how I knew Joe Biden won the presidency in 2020, was I was sleeping and all of a sudden everybody outside my apartment, everybody in the streets were yelling and cheering. And I woke up, I was like, what the fuck's going on? Oh, he must have won. But like where I lived in Brooklyn, that shit turned into like a crazy outdoor street party. It was like a party everywhere. This, not so much. You'd think protesting for the end to a genocide and then getting your wish would be cause for celebration. Like, look at you. Normally protesters achieve nothing. How's the climate going, guys? They achieved something here, I guess. Maybe they're just like, it's not time to celebrate yet. Maybe their celebrations are a little more muted. Some sort of communal pegging. Seems more on brand for them. Also, crappiest genocide ever. If this is the end of it. If we're just like, if this is truly the end of the genocide, maybe one of the worst genocides of all time. A 2-year war, and Israel killed 3% of the population when they could have wiped them all out in a fucking week. Not a great genocide, guys. Could have done better, is all I'm saying. I mean, thank God someone like me was in charge. That's like the kind of thing where if you're like, yeah, we're not doing a genocide, and everybody's like, yeah, you guys are doing a genocide. And you'd be like, you know what? Let's do a genocide, actually. Now that everybody's saying we're doing it, what could be the harm? At this point, you're like, everybody thinks we're doing a genocide. Might as well actually fucking finish the job, right? That's why I'm not in charge of anything. It's also hard. And, you can call in, correct me if I'm wrong. If you disagree, I would love to hear from you. I've missed you all deeply. Maybe not deeply. But hard to think Israel didn't win the war here. Seems like they won the war. Am I offline here? Out of line here? They lost 1,200 people. Palestine lost 60,000 plus. Leveled the entire place. Feels like a dub. I don't know. It's definitely a draw. But doesn't even feel like a draw. Feels like a dub. Now, I guess if like Palestine gets created into this, Gaza is like this amazing place where they go, well, I guess that was worth it. I don't know. Feels like they won. If you disagree with me, something to add, please call in. Want to hear from you. I guess Hamas can say like a lot of people in the world don't like Israel now, but really who gives a shit about that? I mean, I know a lot of you are Americans, so you don't even think about this, but obviously I'm not from America. But don't forget, most of the world hates America. And this country is doing just fine. This isn't fucking high school, okay? You can be a country where everybody hates you and you go, just drink the haterade. Drink it up. Because we are living. Good rule of thumb in my life, by the way, because we've now seen this so many times. And again, you might disagree with me. But I think a good rule of thumb, at least in my life, is whenever A-list actors start taking up some cause, generally I take the opposite side of it. Whenever these are some of the dumbest self-serving people on fucking earth. I know a lot of actors, okay? These are not smart people. The moment that they all just en masse start taking up some sort of cause, you go, I don't know about this. Remember the fucking Imagine video for COVID? When are they right? That's my better question. And maybe you have some instances where they are. Like, when are these fucking people ever right? Same goes for the protesters, by the way. We all thought these people were idiots for their climate protesting, gluing themselves to the fucking road, George Floyd, all of it. And then they go, this one they nailed. Did they happen to be right this time? I don't know. Did they accomplish anything? I don't know. Maybe they did. Like, there is a certain, possibility where had there not been these global protests everywhere, Israel maybe would have really done a genocide. Maybe this would have gone on for much longer than it should have. I don't know. We could never know. I'm sure they will all pat themselves on the back and go, we did it, team, even though Israel won. But you never know, right? I'd like to reiterate, too, that, because I've said this before, but when Greta Thunberg goes back to protesting the climate, she can kindly shut the fuck up, all right? We're not hearing, I don't want to hear any more from you. I know that she'll get amplified by all the news, and we will hear from her regardless of if we want to or not. But her whole thing was the climate crisis, and if the climate crisis is the type of crisis where you can just take 2 years off because it's not that big of a deal because something new popped up, not a crisis. Okay. So shut the fuck up. But again, this whole thing might actually be over. I'm a little cynical. I think this is just a pause, and we'll have some new flare up at some point. I mean, you obviously know that Israel's going to fortify their end. So something like this can never happen again. I don't know. Can the two coexist? It feels like a dogs and cats scenario. I don't know. And there's many people out there who claimed it was only about Israel. not about the Jews. And I don't know where these people go. I don't know what their identity is now. They'll probably begrudgingly have to just become Jew people to fill the void. Now, there are Jew people. Several of you are watching right now. You'll probably have to go fall back on, old talking points if this thing is in fact over and you don't have this, but at least you can always be a Jew guy. No one will ever take that away from you. Shout out to the Jew guys. And again, the phone lines will be open shortly if you want to hear about this. Do you even care about this? Do you have any predictions? I don't know. We have a super chat. Maurice says, I'm sorry about the dog, Danny. I'm happy about the Blue Jays. Fuck you, Maurice. 7-3 right now. Not looking good. Okay. One more quick thing, and then we're going to open up the phone lines. Actually, you know what? I'll open up the phone lines right now so your calls can flood in. Gerard, we have lovely Gerard taking the calls on the ones and twos. James Comey was indicted, which I just want to talk about this briefly with all the things going on in the world. This is a little more of a local story. He's the former head of the FBI, James Comey, indicted on several charges of lying to Congress, other things. New York Attorney General Letitia James also indicted for mortgage fraud this past week. So basically the people who went after Trump with all the lawfare, he's getting their revenge. And we all know this is revenge. We know that it's deserved. It is deserved. It's hard to argue. They go, yo, you did this to him. He's doing it to you now. Is there a lesson here to be learned? I hope there is. I don't think there will be. I mean, they tried to destroy Trump, and boy, did they fail. I hope some of you, your celebrations on this stuff is a little muted. I will say, do not publicly celebrate this stuff. Even if you do enjoy it, do not publicly celebrate any of this stuff. We all know that the Democrats started this, all the lawfare. It was wrong when they did it. It is wrong now. They're both not good. It's just not a good precedent. It's like, it reminds me of if you ever had a sibling or like a friend, and then one of them punches you, and then you go, well, I'm going to punch you back. And they go, okay, well, I'm punching you back for that punch. And you go, no, I punched you back for the first punch. We're even. And they go, no, I'm punching you for the last punch. And you are stuck in a cycle. And it could potentially be a never-ending cycle. You just keep getting punched. Everybody's just punching each other. What kind of world is that to live in? It's an unmistakably bad thing for this country. And my hope is that Trump doesn't go too far with his revenge tour, although we all know that he will go too far. He's an angry man. They didn't give him the fucking Nobel Peace Prize. They gave it to some Venezuelan chick. For what? And look, he's completely justified. But you will risk as a country getting stuck in this feedback loop. And then this is just how it is. This is just the country that America is just politicians just going after other politicians for, and I don't want to say what James Comey did was petty. The Letitia James thing, obviously it was what she did seems to be illegal, but it feels very Stalin-esque with, the quote, like, show me the man, I'll show you the crime. Like every person watching right now is probably guilty of some kind of crime. Some of you might be committing a crime right as you are watching the show. As we speak, you are committing some kind of crime, right? But, many people, it's like if the IRS goes through your taxes with a fine-tooth comb, yeah, they might find something. I'm not even saying it would be an intentional thing. Taxes are confusing. Sometimes you hire some guy to do it, and he's a fucking idiot. You're like H&R Block. He's like, he works 3 months a year. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. But a lot, like a lot of people, you go, yeah, if I start digging into your life, I could probably find something that would constitute a crime. A felony? I don't know. But everybody's got a little dirt on them. And once this shit starts, hard to find an off-ramp for this kind of thing. So hopefully it doesn't spiral into this. I mean, my hope is that the next Democratic leader, Democratic president of the United States just goes, all right, we're not doing this anymore. This is over. Let's just stop this malarkey right now because it just doesn't end well. That's my hope. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Before I do, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you're an audio listener, make sure to follow the podcast, leave a review, share it on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want. If you enjoy the show, tell a friend. Do it for Connor. Do it for Connor, dog. Me and his mother are absolutely devastated. It's a terrible, terrible loss. If you want to support the show, patreon.com/lowvaluemail, MAIL. Get ad-free, uninterrupted episodes, $5 a month. And tomorrow night we'll be back with a new episode of The Bathhouse. All right. Let's go to the calls. Please unmute yourselves promptly. Just do that for me. Phone lines are open, everybody. 1-888-949-2969. Beau!
What's up, Danny?
How's it going,
sorry
man?
about the dog, man.
Thank
sorry
you.
about Connor dog, bro.
I know. It's a devastating loss. Devastating loss. But yeah,
I feel you, man. I have 2 dogs.
Oh, man. I mean, you know, a lot of it is really hard, but then you're just like, you still think about it and you go, overall, like, you know, because it really is the classic, like, you know, it's still obviously have better to have had them and lost them to not have them at all. But yeah, man, it stinks. And it's so fast. It's so fast with dogs. Like Justin Silver is a comedian, but he's like a dog trainer. And he had told me, like, because he always has dogs, and he told me like 2 years ago, he's like, man, when it turns, it goes so fast. And it was very, very fast.
It is sad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that.
Appreciate it, Beau.
As classic as always, HR 38. Please, y'all contact your Congress people. Let's try to get some carryover to everywhere else.
When is this voted on? When does this get voted on?
They can bring it to the floor. Like Thomas Massey wants to bring it to the floor, just like the Epstein client list.
Right. They go, we have more. Is that how it works? Where they're just like, we have more important shit to do, essentially?
Yeah, like run away.
Sure. But they're like, is that how it, like, I'm actually kind of ignorant to the way, like, something like this happens. Like, do you need enough Congress people to say, like, hey, we'll get on board with this because they get enough pressure, or exactly?
Yeah, you need some, and there's a good chunk of co-sponsors out there. And, you know, just harass the senators. Fuck them.
Yeah, just keep on bugging them. All right, well, everybody. You heard it here. And what do they do? You sign a petition, like, or you just call your congressperson?
Well, don't just call your congressperson. Call everyone else's congressperson.
Yeah,
Literally,
I actually have.
You have the time to do that.
I actually have the phone number of a certain congressperson in my phone right now. Maybe I'll give him a text.
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
Do that. Then, like, if you have some extra time, do the chicken tax too. Like,
what's the chicken tax?
Truck. You never heard of chicken tax? Oh, wait, yeah, you're not American.
No.
Well, okay, so...
is it related to actual chickens?
It started off kind of. So, in Europe, post-World War II, we were exporting chickens into Europe. And France didn't like that, and they wanted to put a protective tax on that. And we said, well, fuck you, we're going to go and do a protective tax on small trucks. So, because of that, we don't get the Toyota Hilux now. Now, if we can get rid of what's so-called the chicken tax, we can get small ass trucks back into America. You have to pay like 25% on top of the value of the truck to bring it into America, unless it's 25 years old or older.
Right. So it's just like collectors can have them, but it's not really practical.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded. It's like unlawful.
Why can't Trump deal with this with all the tariffs? This seems to be exactly what all the tariffs are addressing, is shit like this. Is it just like...
Look, I'm not a huge tariff man because I'm not a huge tax man. Like, I think taxation's theft, but, you know, me and you probably think somewhat the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I'm not a big tax guy. Don't love taxes. Don't feel like they're using them in the best manner possible.
Especially when you have, like, the fucking Federal Reserve that can just print money off. Like, what's the point of me paying taxes?
Yeah, that's a good point. Although I assume if they didn't collect any taxes and just printed money, a fucking dozen eggs would cost $50 next year. So
I agree 100%.
There is some
like,
elements.
They have
but yeah.
They have their thumb on the scale, though, is like my whole point of, like, there's no sound money. The U.S. hasn't had sound money since 1972.
Yep. I mean, gold and silver are going crazy right now. Like gold, I think hit $4,100 an ounce today. And I was talking with this like finance guy the other day, and essentially the thing is you're like, this is, you know, for certain people, like this is kind of telling a story. Like some people are like, oh, gold's just going up, and you're like, no, the reason for it going up could potentially be quite concerning.
No, it's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Because the U.S. dollar is going to tank like crazy. The gold is a straight line. It just looks like it's going up, but the U.S. dollar is actually tanking.
Yeah, but the U.S. dollar tanking was by design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a trading ship. Like, go out and buy hard assets. Don't hold dollars. It's
dollars do not seem great. I mean, even the inflation that they tell us is such a fucking lie. Like they're like, yeah, inflation's like 3%. I'm like, it's definitely not 3%. 2.8%.
You need to add CPI to the M2 money supply. You add those both together, and then like you're closer to what it actually is.
I mean, you don't even need to look at the money supply. Just be like, go look at. I mean, I said it before, but if you ever go out to a restaurant and you go on their like Google Maps like review page, like when you go on Google Maps and you pull up the restaurant. And normally if you look at like, go find a photo from like 4 years ago, and people take photos of the menus, and just go walk into a restaurant, and as long as it's like 5 years old, go find a photo of the menu from 5 years ago, and you'll just be like, what the fuck? Everything is 50% more expensive at least.
It is. And, you know, it's just like the monetary system we have right now.
Yeah.
But speaking of stuff that's been going crazy, though, like, did you see that short that supposedly Barron Trump did?
I don't know if Barron Trump did it. That is like super sketchy. For people who don't know, essentially Friday during the day, afternoon, Trump announced, like, China basically said they're putting in some like ban on like exporting
tariff.
Yeah, and like ban on, well, China started it with, they're saying we're like any like critical exports, minerals and stuff, like we're putting a ban on the export of it essentially. And America imports tons of shit from like, you know, batteries and lithium and all that stuff. So China did that. Trump's like, okay, we're putting 100% tariff on top of the tariff that's already in place. And everything just took a shit. Like the stock market dropped like 3%. Crypto dropped like, I think Bitcoin went from like 125,000 to 100,000 within an hour or two, something like that. But anyways, yes,
I think
something. Yeah, but someone put a giant short like 30 minutes before, or like whatever, like shortly before, someone went in the crypto markets, put a massive short, made like $200 million, like on these like highly leveraged short positions on crypto. And for sure, there's no way somebody knew, like, you know, I'm sure Trump like talks to people, and I can't imagine the SEC is going to investigate this in any way. It's just like one of those things with Trump where it's the crazy thing is how blatant it is. Like, you know, the shit was happening before, like under other presidents but it's like so blatant, like it's so in your face. Like, it's not like someone like bought some like, put options on like the S&P 500. This is like, oh yeah, they just happen to put this insanely leveraged short position on Bitcoin like an hour before.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like someone knew something.
Oh, for
someone
sure.
Definitely knew something high up.
Yeah, and again, this information does get out. I'm sure it's not Trump's the only guy who knows, but there is some element where you're like, yeah, it's like it's. I mean, it might be illegal. Not even it might be. It definitely was illegal what they did. But like crypto's this kind of thing too, where you're like, it could be from an anonymous account, and then you're just like, you don't even know. Couldn't even track it down.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the beauty of crypto in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but then I guess it's like a way easier way to commit fucking securities fraud. But yeah, go ahead.
The U.S. government's committing counterfeit.
What's that?
Oh, I said the U.S. government's committing counterfeiting with the money printing, in my opinion. So
yeah, but this is like that's like structural. This is like a blatant crime that everybody like sees, you know, in front of your face. And you're just like, yeah, that's what they do. And Trump being Trump, I guess. Like, who knows?
That's true.
I don't know. I think Eric Trump or Donald Trump Jr. like I think last week put out some one of his cryptic tweets about like you should make sure to buy crypto now. I mean, that's the thing. Is that was around the same time period, and it was up for like 10 minutes and then got deleted, from my understanding. Oh, really?
It was more
suspicious. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Those guys are sharp enough to understand like what's the best way to profit from stuff like this with the least likely scenario of getting caught.
Right. Well, I mean, does any politician ever get actual time for doing something they're not supposed to do?
I mean, Rod Blagojevich went to jail for like some bullshit. Wasn't even, I don't even know if there was
he was extorting us. So I actually was from that state. Rod was extorting,
he was trying to sell his like, wasn't he trying to like sell his seat or something in the Senate?
That's what was the final nail in the coffin in Illinois. Was he was caught selling Obama's Senate seat?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what he got.
Well, that was the final nail. Like I was saying earlier, he also was extorting a children's hospital and a couple other things within the state.
All right.
And then he only got like 6 years.
Yeah, and wasn't there who was the gold?
Let him go.
Yeah, and who was the gold bar? Wasn't there a guy recently with the gold bars where he was like taking gold bars as bribes? Yeah, like a Hispanic name.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
What was his name? I think he's in jail. Oh, former Senator Bob Menendez. He just got 11 years in prison. This was 7-8 months ago. He was accepting bribes of gold bars. So, I mean, they do occasionally, but you're like, these are like old dudes who are like, they're just doing it the wrong way. You're like, there's, if you know how to use crypto, you're like, but again, maybe they're not privy to this information. Like a senator probably doesn't know this information's coming. They find out like the rest of everybody else. Right. But if you're like in the Trump family, you're like, if you're hanging around Trump all the time, you probably hear some things. And just, it used to be people were like not so brazen to just like, yeah, I'm going to go make $200 million. But now, I mean, the thing is to go make $200 million, like you got to have like at least $10-20 million to put out there. So very sketchy.
No, I know you got to have some money to make money, but it's just like, that was fucking insane to see.
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly at this point, it's not even that insane. It's like, you just go, yeah, it's kind of like,
you know what else is insane?
What they do. Yeah.
Trump's sending all that money to Argentina.
That as well. Yeah. They're bailing out Argentina for $20 billion. I don't know what does America get out of this? They must get something like some sort of resources or something.
I have yet to see anything. I'm like, what? Do we get the best friend with Argentina right now?
I mean, who gives a shit?
Like Javier Milei was cool, but like, come on. Like,
yeah.
We're not getting anything out of it.
Yeah, I mean, again, there might be some. I mean, it seems like every deal the Trump administration does has like they get something in return. Like, with Ukraine where you get these critical mineral rights and all this stuff. So there must be something. I can't imagine they're just like, yeah, we're just like, he's a cool dude, so let's give him $20 billion.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, lot of shady shit going on. All right, Beau, anything else there, man?
Just thanks for accepting the call. Oh, hey, if y'all in West Texas, man, vote for Brandon Herrera. All right, bye-bye.
There you go. Vote for Brandon Herrera, everybody. West Texas. And call your congressperson. We need every person to have a cane gun. I can't express how important this is. All right, phone lines are open, everybody. 1-888-949-2969. Do you care about this Israel-Palestine thing? Do you have any predictions? Let's hear from you. Let's go to the Goob. Goob, what's up, man?
What's up, Danny?
How's it going, man?
How's it going?
All right.
How old was Connor Dog, Danny?
He was 2 months away from being 12. He was 11 years, 10 months, almost to the day.
Young dog.
Yeah, it wasn't. And we had him on all these meds and shit to like essentially because he had this like heart disease. That's very common in his breed of dog. So we had him on all this stuff and like, dude, we had like We took him to a cardiologist like twice a year. Last time being in like the middle of July, and everything like looked fairly normal. And then I guess like just in between, it just goes so fast. Like I guess the only way to describe it is it's just like his. Do you
plan on getting another dog?
Not anytime soon. I think it's just like a little early it's like my wife had him for his whole life, which was like 12 years. So it's like to get a new dog, like, I don't know. I mean, I love dogs, don't get me wrong. I do. But it seems at the moment premature. My wife wanted to clone him actually, but I had to explain to her that was not a good idea. Cause I'm like, you don't, first off, you don't
like $8,000, I think.
Yeah, it's not, well, apparently it's like
surprisingly cheap.
So I think it's more than that, but it's like to start the process essentially is like they cut off his like ear or some shit, or like they have to like cut some stuff off of him to get enough DNA. But then the problem is that one is like all you get is a dog that looks like him. You don't get his personality. You just get a dog that looks like him. But then also in the process apparently of cloning the dogs, like one, you inherit all of his health issues, which I'm like, that's
medical
stupid.
issues. Yeah.
Yeah. But then you're like in the process of cloning the dogs, apparently they have to like abort a ton of dogs. And so you're like actually killing a bunch of dogs in order to clone it. And I'm like there's lots of like, I mean, I see dogs all the time that already look like him. So I'm like, just go buy a dog if that's what you want. Like it just doesn't.
Well, if you ever do get another dog, I would strongly encourage not getting your dog vaccinated.
Yeah.
That's actually what turned me anti-vax. It wasn't almost dying from the tetanus shot. It was from the massive petition a decade or two ago from veterinarians, because legally they have to give a Chihuahua and a Cane Corso the exact same dosage of vaccines.
Oh, and man, so, my dog has had
mega dosing the small dogs, and they're having ridiculous rates of adverse reactions, seizures, behavioral changes, tumors. It's why like Chihuahuas are such neurotic and tumory dogs, is because they're these tiny dogs getting massive doses of vaccines.
because my dog, and the thing is, they're like, my dog has had in the last few years, I mean, not on top of his regularly scheduled vaccines for like whatever weird shit that they make you get, but like we travel with him a lot. So, and you go to all these places and they're like, you need an up-to-date rabies shot and all this stuff. So we had to give him like, he had in the last couple of years, like multiple rabies shots. But I mean, his heart condition that he had was literally for that breed, like the most common issue that breed has.
Right.
So it's hard to say if they're related or not, but so how do you get around not giving your dog vaccines?
Well, if you own your house, you don't need apartment approval and such, and I don't really travel with them, so it's not a problem.
Oh, okay.
And you do have to find the right vet, because there are vets that will like not treat your dog if it's not vaccinated. There's even vets that'll try and report you and get your dog taken away. So like you do have to find the right vet, but that's the only
this is like a new.
The other recommendation I would make is feeding real food, like the same food that you eat.
Yeah, I mean, I did. Like,
kibble is horrible for them.
Yeah, for the last like probably 3 years, because he had bladder stones. So I started feeding him. I basically just made him like rice, chicken, broccoli, and yellow squash every week. That's basically what he ate. So yeah, we were feeding him like
obviously
normal food, but
if he's got genetic issues, that won't solve any of that. But like those two things will make a big difference in your dog's health.
Yeah,
over the long run.
Yeah. I mean, we did everything we could. We threw.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, even when we took him in, like, to the hospital, like we ended up putting him on a ventilator, which is crazy. But we brought him in and they were just like, you have 5 minutes to decide if you want to put him down or we can try and save his life and put him on a ventilator. And we were just like, all right, put him on a ventilator. And they're like, it's going to be really expensive. And we go, just fucking do it.
Brutal all over.
No. Yeah, the whole thing sucks. Yeah. It's terrible news.
Well,
so what's up, Goob?
Yeah, I did make a third video. It's not my most recent video, but it's the last one I'm putting out on it. And
what's it called? Punching trannies?
It's How to Save America with the Goob. But I would love to do a full episode and have a full conversation, because legitimately everything I'm saying is not only common sense, it's common sense that we teach to children. Like, these are the same lessons that you teach to children who are dealing with bullies in schools and stuff like that. But it sounds horrible because we've all been so inundated with propaganda our entire lives. You know, it's like saying a man is a man, you're a genocider, you're trying to genocide. It's like our whole perspective is so fucked that what I'm saying sounds extreme. It sounds horrible. It's legitimately not. And it's because I'm trying to fit, you know, this into little 10-minute sound bites. But I would love to have a full conversation.
Yeah,
about
we will.
The psychology, group psychology, and all of that, and how this works, because what I'm suggesting is literally the only thing that can turn America around. The government cannot change the culture, which is a point I've already made. But like,
and
even no matter how hard the government cracks down on Antifa, it's not going to de-radicalize them. It's not going to change their mindset.
No.
If anything, it only gives them the actual boogeyman to fight against. The only thing that will de-radicalize the people in the culture are the people, are us, right? And, you know, think about like when you were in school. Did you ever witness a time where someone who's like really popular had a massive fall from grace, or vice versa? Like the loser kid had this moment of ultimate redemption. You know, it's like people are fickle. They can have their minds change incredibly quickly. We can right the course of the country incredibly quickly, and it doesn't take that much, but it does take standing up to the bullies, which is an uncomfortable thing. But like when you have a bully in a school that's running wild and the school won't do anything about it, you don't just keep giving your lunch money over and telling them O'Doyle rules. You stand up to the bully, and then when the bully gets violent, you get more violent back. That's how you end this.
But now,
and that's literally the entire message that I'm delivering.
Circling back, is your platform still just like fighting transgenders in the street?
No. So let me clarify the tranny thing, right? In our first conversation, we highlighted that I'm referring mostly to the most disgusting, you know, troonish of them all. In fact, replace the word tranny with troon every time I've used it on this show, and it should make more sense, right? And it's not even that, you know, again, every demon must be confronted, every bully or every freak must be bullied, and this must happen everywhere at all times. But that's a massive ask, and depending on where you live, that's literally a full-time job. So you have to use the 80-20 rule, right? You get 80% of your results from 20% of your effort. So who do you focus on first? And it's like, if you see some dude wearing an Antifa shirt and he's just walking down the street all alone, like, by all means, please go fuck with that guy. But it's like the people who are easily identified, and the people who genuinely pose a risk and a threat to society, and the people who will provide the most return for your efforts are the troons.
But when you say, hold on, let me just sorry to cut you off. When you say go fuck with them, what do you mean?
Literally, like, just call a man. Like, you can.
Oh, okay.
It can be anything, and that's the thing. It's like that's
you could just be like very passive aggressive.
Like, find your comfort level.
Like you'd be like top of the morning to you, sir. And then just keep
find
going.
your comfort level. If that's where you're comfortable in your bullying, is saying top of the morning to you, sir, that's a massive step in the right direction. That's way better than going, oh, you're a brave and beautiful woman, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, for the people who are more hardcore, sure, they can go and walk up to them and be like, you're a disgusing fucking freak, get off our streets. I would encourage that too, but like most people aren't going to be comfortable doing that, right?
Yeah. It's
not un-American. It's literally the most American thing you can do. It's literally restoring America, because you know, the big titty woodshop teacher, right? Like when I was talking about Dr. Hitler, I think people are probably like, that's a crazy comparison. Is it really crazy to compare big titty woodshop teacher to Dr. Hitler?
Who's Dr. Hitler?
And we're seeing, when I was talking about how the troons in workplaces are the left-wing equivalent of if we had Dr. Hitler, if we had a guy dressed up as Hitler who's your doctor, right? You know, and so, like, I don't know if you've encountered, like, a genuine troon in the workforce. I have.
I do stand-up comedy.
Well, that's a little bit different. That's not quite the workforce. But, you know, like, I've walked into a hairdresser shop where there was a 100% troon working there, you know, had, like, fucking crypt keeper hair, you know, had the lipstick outside the lips. And then not only were the clothes ill-fitting, but the boots they had on didn't fit to the point that one of their boots, the sole of the boot was straight up parallel to the ground, and they were just walking in the ankle of their boots. And they're walking around this shop as a fucking hairdresser, and everyone's sitting in there as if this is normal. And it's like, I would never in a million fucking years let that freak touch me, especially not with scissors around my face and neck. Like, what happens when you call him a dude? He's going to stab you in the fucking jugular.
Probably.
And it's literally like, it's literally, you know, the damage that does to people's psyche to be exposed to that shit, the effect that has on people's mentality and like what's normal in this world. It's ridiculous. And that kind of shit genuinely cannot be allowed. And if that person was an actual woman, it wouldn't be allowed. If you walked in and a woman looked like that, a hairdresser who was an actual woman was that disheveled and like,
yeah, they'd send them home. They
Ill,
go, you're having a bad
yeah,
day.
you'd go, what the
home.
fuck are you doing in there? Yeah, you'd be like, what the fuck are you, but because it's a troon, everyone sits there quietly and goes along with it. And so, yes, the troons must be dealt with. Every freak must be dealt with. Every demon must be dealt with.
What do you classify as freak?
Are you a freak? Are you normal or are you a freak? Do you have 6 different colors in your hair and piercings in your nose?
I mean,
right, well,
Comic-Con just happened like
the most freaky.
So what are you going and fucking
the freakiest of the freaks first,
jailing everybody at Comic-Con,
and then you work your way up. There's different degrees of freak, and there's different levels of harm of freak, right? The troons are, again, they are inherently violent. Like the troons are who I'm referring to, becoming violent at the drop of a hat. They are also sexual predators. Like I don't like distinguishing between quote unquote legitimate trannies and troons because I don't think any tranny is legitimate. But there's obviously a very stark difference between the people who are indulging their sexual fetishes and forcing everyone around them to indulge them as well, and people who are confused about their gender either through brainwashing or chemical imbalances.
Sorry to cut you off. Did you see in Canada, somewhere in Ontario, actually, there was a high school volleyball game, or maybe it was a community college volleyball game, and there were 5 transgender women on the court playing. In one game, there was 3 on one team and 2 on the other, and it's like, you know, everybody's like, yeah, these are like isolated incidents. He goes, it's like half the players on the fucking court.
That's literally half the players on a volleyball court. Yeah.
It was pretty nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So that thing that's only going to get worse. That's only going to continue escalating unless we, the people, stop it. We are the ones who control our culture. You know, yes, the media influences, the government has a bit of an influence, but it is the people. It is the people who control the culture. And the right has just put their head down and stayed silent for so long and tried to acquiesce and give in. And like, again, go back to what we teach children. That only makes the bullying worse. And that's exactly what we've seen. If we want people to come back to sanity, we must make bullying great again. And that's the only thing that can save the country. It doesn't matter how tyrannical the government gets. They will not fix the culture. They will not fix the insanity. The only thing that can fix it is we, the people. And there's no one, literally no one, who shouldn't be taking action. Like, even if your comfort level is, oh, I would never, ever say anything to a tranny, fine. Even if your comfort level is, I would never even fly an American flag on my house, fine. Go walk around your neighborhood and knock on the doors of the houses that are flying American flags and shake their hand and thank them for their bravery and become friends with them. Maybe their bravery will rub off on you, right? But like, at least be a cheerleader. You know, you see someone walking down the street with a MAGA hat, thank them. Be like, dude, I appreciate what you're doing. I don't have the bravery to do it myself, but I appreciate you. You know, there's literally no reason for anyone to not be taking action in this culture war. And maybe that action is insignificant and it's just cheerleading other people, but like, you can do something, and that helps. That like these little things are far more effective and powerful than people realize. People aren't like psychoanalyzing their entire day like I do, you know, and everyone around them, but like, these little things are very, very powerful. And it's those little things, they have a snowball effect as well. Like, once momentum starts, again, think back in your schooling. I'm sure there was an experience.
There was a snowball element to
someone who was like super popular, who falls from grace, or someone who's super loser who has this massive moment of redemption. People are fickle. It can change very quickly and easily.
No, my school was like an Indian caste system. It's just like where you were was where you'll die.
Well, most people are familiar with what I'm describing.
I know. I mean, obviously the snowball thing is like, that is kind of what happened with the whole trans people getting their come up in the last decade. I'm not really sure. Like,
and you just have to say no. Just don't tolerate it, and it stops. It's that easy.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
problem
it's
is
like
it's
during
infiltrated such high levels of like definitely corporations and whatnot. Where I like personally, I think the best kind of thing you can hope for at this point is you're like, we're gonna like get some ground back. They'll still be ahead of where they were 10 years ago, but they cannot be as far as they were 3 years ago, which they already are like kind of giving back ground. And, you know, it was one of these issues.
Well, that's the thing is once you start the ball rolling, it wants to keep rolling. So I actually believe we can claw it all back.
But what are you talking about? Like you're talking about like conversion therapy, like forced conversion therapy? Like these people do exist.
No.
Like I remember when I was
I'm talking about making it. I'm just talking about shame, right? So think about the 90s. You were allowed to be gay in the 90s. No one was like, I mean, yes, there were some conversion therapies going on, but like generally speaking, that wasn't really a big thing. It was, but if you saw two dudes kissing on a sidewalk, they'd probably get fucking heckled.
Yeah.
You know? Right? We need to get back to that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But in the
do we go so far? Do we go so far as heckling interracial couples?
Sure, if you want to.
That's a lot.
If that's what you want to do.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is we live in a society and you have to decide, you're like, how contentious of a society do you want to live in? Do you want to live in? Now, obviously I understand your point where they're like, well, we kind of did leave them alone. And then they kind of like, it's like you give them a hand,
right,
foot, and they take a mile.
So go back to the example with the bully in the school. It's like giving in and acquiescing to that bully doesn't actually lower the contention. It only increases the bullying. It only makes things worse. So the way to lower the temperature and the way to stop the violence and the way to de-radicalize people, ironically, is to, you know, to push back against them. I know that sounds counterintuitive.
I mean, it's not. That's literally what they did. It's literally
common sense.
But that's what they did.
Common sense that we teach to children.
Like,
yes, exactly.
They
and
saw
that's what
you.
We must do. They've dominated the power dynamics.
Yeah, like they saw
now
you or your type as the bully, and they go, "Yeah, we've laid down for long enough. Now we're actually going to fight back." The crazy thing is how successful they were. But they did do that.
Yes, 100%. And so now it is our turn to do that. And if we don't, then the country will be lost.
Then we're all going to be
that simple.
Gay. Okay.
Yes, Danny.
I don't want to be gay.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. Later, Goob.
Peace.
It's Goob, everybody. Letting you know, be gay at your own risk. We have some super chats. Bobo Makua says, Danny, get your wife a baby. Working on it. Drew says, any Connor's ashes being sold as merch? Limited run? No. We do have Connor's ashes at home. We took them on Thursday to the oldest pet cemetery in America, actually, in this place called Hartsdale, New York, and to get cremated. We were thinking about burying him, but then we're like, we can't bury him somewhere where he's never been, and it's an hour away from us, and it made no sense. So we had him cremated. We got a nice little like mahogany box thing with his ashes in it. But I don't think my wife is going to want to sell his ashes, as you could imagine. So no, we will not be selling the ashes. All right, let's take another call here. Phone lines are open, everybody. 1-888-949-2969. Still some room for a few of you if you want to call in. Let's speak with Jared.
Hello, sir.
Jared, how you doing on this fine day?
I'm doing okay. I took the day off. We had a major storm come through my neck of the woods.
The nor'easter? No, you're in a different part. You're in a different...
Yeah, I'm out west. We get monsoons in Arizona, but it's like something I've never experienced before. I'm talking like 80-mile-an-hour winds.
A
tree across the street from the house. A tree fell on a neighbor's house. It was pretty bad.
Nightmare. Maybe Greta's right. Maybe this climate change is a real crisis.
Maybe those Jays were trying to get me. Weather.
Yeah, well, weather. Yeah, they figured they'd just get the whole state and just hopefully nab you in the process.
You know, that was the idea, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I called in because I wanted to discuss a Mr. Zundel.
Yes, Ernst Zundel. He was a Canadian, a fellow fellow Canadian. Yes, I remember there was a big scandal in Canada in the 90s, I believe.
He was first arrested for spreading false information in 1985, but his case went all the way to the Supreme Court in 1991.
Okay. Hey, by the way, you're breaking up a little bit here, Jared. I don't know if you can maybe go somewhere. I don't know if you're at home or if you can find. I don't know if you're on your Wi-Fi or what, but you are breaking up a little.
I have no internet. My power's out at my house.
Okay.
So I'm just
Jews. Anyways, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Go on. You sound fine right now. Yeah. So Ernst Zundel. Yes. Yeah, I remember him. He was like handing out. What was his deal? He was handing out like Holocaust pamphlets or something.
Well, he was stating that there were no Jews that were gassed during the Holocaust.
Mm-hmm.
So
zero.
This actually zero, and this gets into Mr. Frederick A. Luchter, who was a expert on gas chambers.
Okay.
And he was hired by Mr. Zundel's defense team.
Yeah.
And he went to Buchenwald, he went to Auschwitz, and what he did was he brought a video photographer to document his inspections and the drafts that he took, the measurements, the drawings that were on site, and the purpose of which was to inspect these alleged chambers that were used to gas these Jays.
Sure.
So what transpired in the process was he came to an understanding that it was physically impossible for these facilities to be used as gas chambers. And mind you, he is at the time, one of the gas chamber world. That was
there is such a thing.
His sole work. That was his thing. If I'm not mistaken, worked.
That seems like a pretty niche field of expertise.
Well, if you're involved in working for the prison system, these gas chambers need to be inspected and given a stamp of approval prior to.
Can I ask you just one question before we continue here? Do you believe that the Twin Towers or Tower 7 fell on their own?
Explosive charges that were set in the buildings by the Israeli art students, BB-18 charges. There's photographs.
Okay. The only reason I ask this is because some of the top engineers in the world said that it did. Now continue.
Well, there is actually a group called the Engineers and Architects.
Yeah, I had the one guy on the 9/11 Truth Center or whatever, and they were
Gage.
No, I can't remember what his name was. That he was on the show. He runs the 9/11 not 9/11. Is it 9/11 Justice? Ted Walter. He came on the show. He was the guy who's like all the phone calls were fake, and he's from IC911.org. Which is the International Center for 9/11 Justice. And they do have a bunch of engineers who basically are saying that this could not have fallen on its own. All I'm saying is that if you need an expert for your legal case to back you up, you can find one. Like you can just saying there's like an expert who says this is impossible. You're like, you can find one for anything.
But let's get into some of the details and research.
Sure. I like that you're keeping it light tonight, Jared.
I'm trying. I haven't called in a while.
This probably is light for you, actually. This is actually this is 2 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I know it's consistent with my theme.
Sure.
Me and Dylan actually did an episode on 9/11 just yesterday. At 3 hours.
Was it the Jews?
Yes.
What do you know?
With that said, let's get back to Mr. Luchter.
Yes. Okay.
So he inspected the buildings. He found that there were windows, there were incandescent light bulbs,
Okay.
there were doors that were not gasketed, and in order to facilitate this gassing, you would need mechanisms to pump the gas into the rooms, maintain it at a certain temperature in order for it to be effective. And not only that, was this hydrogen cyanide gas was extremely explosive. He took samples from the walls and he sent them to independent laboratories to corroborate the evidence of what he had found. And the idea being that these incandescent light bulbs, should you flip the switch, it would cause a massive explosion. The gas, the ungasketed windows and doors would have gassed the people outside administering the gas. There was no heating mechanism to maintain the gas at the appropriate temperatures. So Mr. Ernst Zundel was eventually acquitted, and the law associated with this particular case was repealed in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So this proves in the Supreme Court of Canada and to many people like myself that there were no gas chambers.
This on itself proves what was what was the reason for dismissing? Was it a free speech issue? Because I thought that's what he was arguing. Because I've even always said, I go like, I don't care if you don't believe the Holocaust happened. What does it matter? Like I do agree that there shouldn't be a law against it. You're like, I can say that the Cambodian genocide didn't happen. I don't go to jail for that.
And that is
it happened, but I can say it didn't happen.
That is the part of the case I'm not necessarily familiar with, what the technicality was in which he was acquitted. But what I can say is there was unequivocal evidence on the part of Mr. Luchter, which did prove that there was no means to gas these people within these said chambers. It was physically impossible.
So they're entirely made up.
Correct.
And what are the rooms for then? Like what were those? They were just showers? Is that what they're saying?
They were showers.
Now what if, because I just gave a cursory search, but so this is from 2015. This is when they were still finding like old Auschwitz guards and stuff and putting them on trial. But this is just, and I'm sure I could find 50 of these, but this is a former Auschwitz SS guard, basically.
And what source are you using?
This is CBS News. I know it's not the Daily Stormer, but it's from a trial. This is from a trial. I don't think there's an editorializing aspect here. These are just quotes. But he basically says...
CBS owned by Viacom?
Again, these are quotes. I don't think these are not... Like, well, again, you could be like, these quotes are made up. Certainly that's possible. I don't have the time to look into them in the middle of a live show, but I'm just saying, like, I could probably find hundreds of firsthand accounts of this. So, and this is coming from someone who was an SS guard. What do you say to that?
Well, Mr. Luchter stated that quite specifically, he went over the eyewitness accounts, and it is not possible that any of the individuals who gave statements ever witnessed a gassing, because none of the statements that they made were in line with how a gassing would take place.
Yeah. So here's another one. This is from 2019. This is from Hamburg State Court. Bruno Day, a former SS private, accused of having been an accessory to the murder of 5,230 people. He says, basically from his watchtower, people were let into the gas chamber, then the door was locked. This is a quote. This is from The Guardian. I don't believe Jews own that. And then he says he heard screams and banging shortly after, but added, I didn't know that they were being gassed. And this is
so they had glass windows, which could have been broken.
Okay.
And in many cases, there was no residue found on the samples that were chipped away from walls.
Okay.
There was no means to insert the gas nor remove the gas. The way in the structures in which the buildings were built, some of these facilities had doors which opened from the inside as well as the outside. This doesn't even begin to speak of the wooden doors.
So
which we
so
know
what do
is
you
it's a
what do
fun
you
little
say
meme.
to this guy who is an ex-Nazi camp guard? Just he's making it up.
He's lying.
And
Yeah.
what would be his motivations for that? Because I mean, he's 93 years old.
Most of the time, the motivation for lying is monetary, and it's that they've been given incentive to lie. Most of the time, when
Well,
people
I don't
are
think they're
lying,
giving him
it's
money.
because
Normally, in a
there's-
trial, you can lie to save your ass, but I'm pretty sure this guy was facing natural life in prison, regardless. Especially, certainly for him to say this would have likely lowered his sentence. I'll agree with you there, because had he been like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, they would have given him a harsher sentence versus him admitting it.
If you were a gas chamber expert, would you want to get anywhere near this topic?
I mean, I don't even.
You know, if you, for the sake of your reputation, would
Sure.
you want to testify on someone's behalf?
Now, okay,
Unless-
another question. Yeah, another question. Sorry. Are there any other gas chamber experts in the world? Is this guy the only one?
Well, from what I understand, it's like you said, a rather niche job, and he happened to be an individual who worked internationally, not only in Canada but the United States and other countries where gas chambers are used for executions. So there aren't many people in this particular role, from what I gather.
And are there any people who debunk this guy's what's his name's Luchter? That's the guy?
Correct. Frederick A. Luchter.
Yeah. So are there other experts who have basically come out who are like, I'm also an expert, this guy's full of shit?
No, and that's the thing. It seems as though the research and data that he presented was rather irrefutable, so no one went out on a limb and stated that he was disingenuous, especially when you consider that he took his samples to another laboratory in the United States to be examined, not only his own laboratory, but an independent research laboratory to corroborate his findings.
And they confirmed.
Correct, that no hydrogen cyanide gas was used in the.
Wasn't it Zyklone B?
In those buildings?
Or is that the same thing?
That's essentially what they would have used. Correct. The manner in which he describes it is as hydrogen cyanide gas.
Interesting. I mean, you certainly haven't changed my mind, but
no, that's okay. I'm not here to change anyone's mind. I just thought that I should present some great information for people.
Yeah, I mean, I know who Ernst Sundell is
on their own.
He was a bit of a villain in Canada, as you can imagine. But again, I fully agree. I go, you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want. And it's like, again, I don't see how this is different than saying the earth is flat.
I think it's important that we're able to have these conversations. I shared with another gentleman that I worked with that I met at church with. I shared it with a coworker the other day.
Oh, dude, that's fucking dangerous territory, huh? Your heart must start fucking. That. What's that? You're comfortable with it?
Well, because I believe that this individual genuinely was curious, and I don't fear repercussions of what might transpire by me sharing this information, because I'm open about what it is I believe.
Yeah.
And if I see something to be a fallacy, I'll call it what it is. So
you're not worried about losing your job or something if this gets back to the wrong people?
Well, what I did was he asked me about the moon landing, and it sounds like people are coming to me about certain data because they know I'm a bit of a researcher.
Yes, you are.
So, and he seemed like he might be interested. So I said, "What if I told you that nobody was ever gassed during the Hollow hoax?"
And you call it the Hollow hoax. He goes, Hollow hoax. That's ballsy leading with Hollow hoax.
I did not use that for the gentleman I go to church with.
Gotcha.
But the coworker I did.
Yeah. Okay.
So you got to, pick and choose the language.
Now, I have a question. Do you ever look to find data that might discredit these people? Because I mean, I see some of the stuff you post in the Patreon chat that we have. Sign up, patreon.com/slowemail. And sometimes you'll post stuff and then it'll take me 2 seconds to be like, this is obviously fake. where it's like, it feels like you didn't even take 2 seconds to look into it. Like, are you actively like taking both sides of this thing?
I lean towards finding information which confirms my general understanding of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I do look into the counter argument, which tends to come from a certain group of people or individuals who are.
But I mean, like that quote, quote you have from like what was that guy who was like
Harold Wallace Rosenthal.
That's so fake, man. That is like one of the fakest things I've ever seen in my life.
But as we discussed, just imagine you happen to interview that person.
But like the interview's not even real. Like the interview's from like some white supremacist thing website from like the 90s or something, and they're like conveniently released it a month after his death so that there could be no way to corroborate whether this thing even happened.
It was released 18 months later.
Or whatever. It was released after he had died in this like what was it, like a terrorist like plane crash or something? Something like that. It was like It was
a terrorist attack at an airport.
Terrorist attack at an airport, an airplane or something, and you're like, you know, it's just like they say they have a recording, but there's no recording of it. It's just a transcript. It comes from a, you know, I would say dubious source in that obviously like they're not unbiased in any way. Like that thing's obviously fake.
Well, there is room for debate. I wouldn't argue with you there.
Sure.
But let's say, for instance, if we're talking about David Irving in his book Hitler's War, he is a historian, a researcher. He studied the American archives, the German archives, the Russian archives, anything he could get his hands on. He spoke to people who had first-hand accounts with Hitler, and he is considered a white supremacist.
Yeah, I know that. I know who he is.
One of the farthest things.
But I mean, historians, that's in, like, you can, I think historians, like, if you're a whatever professional historian, like, you know, you can kind of like, if you're trying to get to, like, prove a hypothesis, like, generally you can get there cherry picking quotes, right?
Well,
kind of similar.
The gentleman.
Like even Daryl Cooper, who I like Daryl Cooper, but when I was watching, Coleman Hughes and Dave Smith would reference some quote, and then he's like, well, here's the rest of the quote that just gets left out for some reason. It's not some reason. It's just like that rest of the quote kind of doesn't help the cause. So then they just like leave it out. And you go, that's like, you know, like again, he's a historian. Another guy's a historian. They disagree. You're just choosing to agree with the guy who happens to.
Do you recall when we had the conversation about Menachem Begin?
Vaguely.
And then you laughed at my pronunciation. There was a Jewish journalist who happened to document a very famous quote that's attributed to Mr. Begin, and are
you talking about Menachem Begin?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Begin. I don't know if they pronounce the.
Okay.
But the idea being that people have stated that this quote is misattributed, and he never said these things. But the idea being that at this time, old school journalists would sit in a room, and whether they had a tape recorder or they would just jot down verbatim what the individual said, there is reason to believe that this quote is substantiated, and someone who knew him quite close knew that he had observed this moment. And I don't recall the journalist's name or the exact quote off the top of my head at the moment, but in my opinion, based on the evidence, this man was Jewish. He just happened to be like you and I can have comfortable conversations about this, and
very comfortable,
and no one's getting no one's getting upset.
No, my mom might be if she's listening.
Some people might immediately.
My mom is not a fan of yours, Jared. Let me tell you.
Well, say hi to Miss Paula Chuck for me. She's raised you very well.
Thank you.
And
she may disagree, but anyways, continue. Go on.
Just the idea being that there's always going to be naysayers, and they'll often throw out things like anti-Semitic, white supremacist, white nationalist, and
Sure.
when
Which I agree. I agree with
information
that. Definitely does no, like the ADL did so much damage. Like, and it's funny
they
because
do.
like people are realizing it. Like lots of like Jews and stuff. They're like, oh man, this ADL got really out of hand. You're like, yeah, that was fucking 10 years ago. Like you guys just kind of sat idly by and let them do. And it only took this whole Israel thing to be like, oh, this is really a problem, huh? And you're like, yeah, this was a problem before.
And they didn't even consider the fact that they were created to defend a man who had raped and murdered
allegedly
13-year-old, allegedly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that said, I think it's important, as you say, to look at both sides of the coin.
Sure.
But I lean towards the individuals who tend to have a less bias approach than
you don't
the
think
individuals who
Ernst Zundel is less biased?
Well, he is German.
Oh my God.
He is a Canadian.
Yeah, he might be a little biased,
Canadian
Jared.
citizen of
Sure.
German.
Did he get
ancestry.
deported, or was he naturalized? I don't know.
He was probably allowed to stick around because he was acquitted. But
I mean, it is
I'm
Canada. They'll let any fucking riffraff stick around. All right, Jared.
Well, he'd probably get arrested if he ever went back to Germany. With that said,
That
but
too.
Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, he might be in Argentina. Good talking to you, Jared. Take care, man. Jared, everybody. All right. Let's get to the phone lines. Okay, I cannot take Slav and Jared back to back. Absolutely not. That would be a mistake. Who do we have on the line here? Please make sure to unmute yourself. Hello, you're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Danny. It's David, the second diatrief and bishop from Minnesota.
David from Minnesota. What's up, man?
Oh, I want to tell you about an act I did.
An act?
But I have a prepared statement, and then we can speak of the act if you would like.
Go ahead, David. Yes, please.
Thank you for joining us. We are glad you are here. I myself am hoping you can help us with something. Run a process in helping people. Continue to explore. Stop forgetting. At some point I started praying, and I did not stop. A saint presents a challenge to the world, said G.K. Chesterton, and I begin my continuation of the ministry of diatribes referenced in the 3rd book of John. To devote a self to the world is a self-subjugation with no servant and no master. As the second diatrief and bishop, I reject papacy and Protestantism, will shortly be sending emissaries that I recognize as understanding. The emergence of a diatrief and ministry represents a rectification in that misunderstanding that resulted in even the earliest rejections of Christian brotherhood. There exists on this earth an artifact. I shall describe it to you now. Inside the sheath, a $2 bill wraps the blade of a kukri. Apocrypha is in the form of paper ties on the handle. The sheath itself, adorned with Nepalese currency, wrapped in yet more apocrypha, and sealed in the gaiter I most wore during the pandemic. This gaiter is of a faded American flag, and across from the stars is written, "Your government hates you." And finally, wrapped product holds the shape of a banana, with the final inscription on the outside, "This is not a weapon." This artifact was placed for auction, and when the bid was rejected, I gave it to a man whose name nor face I cannot recognize, placed in front of a mirror before a sink. I am doubtful it shall return. And then I recognized the 22nd Minnesota Secretary of State. I told him some things because he talked in his speech about getting his 15 seconds with Walter Mondale. I seized the opportunity and spoke to him as I extended my hand. I told him my name. I told him I liked a lot of what he said. I told him a story about Nixon that I heard from Louis C.K.
How long is this, David?
We can discuss it if you would like now.
Sure. I heard Nixon and Louis C.K. I wasn't sure if you were just trolling me and just reading a book until I cut you off.
No, so Louis C.K. tells this story about Nixon going down to the National Mall during a protest.
Okay.
And actually talking to the people.
Okay.
And So I have a couple jobs, and at one of them we were hosting the DFL and catering their event. I was a bartender for them.
Okay.
And that's when I gave them the artifact I described. And then I'm telling you about me meeting the Secretary of State and what I told him.
Oh, what are you reading this from? You prepared this?
Yes, this is my prepared statement.
Okay, is it much longer?
I mean, much like a Jew to ask these questions, but
I mean, I'm doing a live show right now.
I know. I
we
thought
lost
we were
20
on
viewers. We did. And we lost 20 live viewers since you started. So I'm just trying to. I'm more of like a composer right now.
I'm going to give me one more.
Okay, yeah, go.
Short minute.
Go. Yeah, go.
All right. I'm going to start from here. I told him my name. I told him I liked a lot of what he said. I told him a story about Nixon that I heard from Louis C.K. I told him it is no longer possible for politicians to walk into a protest in this country. I told him I don't believe the Republicans are going to be the ones to fix this country, nor the Democrats. I told him to continue the good work he is doing, and I forgot to tell him I will be checking to make sure he knows. I wore a shirt that said Project MK Ultra Outpatient.
Okay, I like that.
And he looked me in the eye and understood what I was saying was important to me. And when he told me he remembered that story, that time in history, I didn't have the heart to tell him that that was an America before me. That's an America that's no longer possible. That is our father's America. We don't live there anymore.
Okay. All right. I'm going to cut you off here.
All right. That's
okay. And so what are we getting at here? You're going to have to give me the... Is this from your book or something? I don't get this.
So I worked with the Secret Service, right?
Okay.
At that party. And I gave them a knife, and it was extremely clear to me that they did not give a fuck how many guns were in that room. If shit popped off, they didn't give a fuck, dude. I was
sure, but they took issue with the
appalled.
knife?
They did not take issue with the knife. I know they found it. I know they saw it. I know it's somewhere in their possession.
Okay.
But I just want this story to exist in a place outside my head and, their heads.
Sure.
And you're my platform, Danny, and I appreciate it.
Thanks, David. What the fuck was that? Sounded kind of normal. I'm too nice. Honestly, I am way too nice with you guys. I'm very interested in all of you, to my detriment. Because I was like, where is this going? And I probably could have cut it. I'm like, I don't have the... Like, I was listening to talk radio. I rented a car the other day when I went to go get my son Connor cremated. And we rented a car and we were driving. And I was listening to some radio. People talk for fucking 5 seconds. Just like, click. They just hang up on them indiscriminately. I don't know. Maybe I'm too Canadian to have a talk radio show. I'm too polite. Because I go, let him go. Maybe he's got something he's got to say. I don't know. But then I was like, what the fuck was that? Hello. You're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Danny. It's Will from Texas.
Will from Texas. What's up, man? You sound exactly like Mayor Aaron Lamb, actually. Or
do I? Okay, yeah. I called in the first time like a few weeks ago, and I realized I mumble a lot.
Oh,
and,
okay.
I didn't realize that until I heard myself back, so I'm going to try to enunciate a little bit better.
Very nice. I'm from a fellow mumbler. I feel your pain, man.
All right. The only question I have really is, what does Trump have to do to earn a Nobel Peace Prize?
They ain't giving it to him. I mean, I saw like they're trying to. I mean, from what I understand, he's already it's already been given out. They're giving it to some woman from Venezuela for like something about democracy in Venezuela or whatever the fuck that means. But I don't know. I mean, he ended the Pakistan-India conflict, something in Azerbaijan or some shit. All these places I'd never even heard of, and they're like, he fixed those ones. But I don't know. It just sounds like they just don't want to give it to him. You know, it's just one of those.
I know they give out the Peace Prize yearly. It's an annual thing. So like maybe I don't know. Maybe
he can get it next year.
Trump,
I don't know. I don't know if he's eligible for it next year. Maybe he is.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know the requirements.
If he winds down Russia, Ukraine, like you think he's done enough to get one, but I don't know. I imagine like anything, it's a somewhat political, and they just, I don't know. They don't like him. They don't want to give it to him.
Yeah, I was thinking just public image at this point. Can Trump do? I don't know. I think there's nobody changing their minds at this point. I think people either like him or they don't. I don't know anybody. I know people that changed their mind over the past 10 years. They didn't like the Biden era.
I mean, Obama, I'm looking this up here. Obama got his in 2019 for his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Yeah, what does that even mean? That's just like the most, you're just like, what does that even mean? That is the most vaguely worded shit. Like, he got it for, they said, citing Obama's promotion of nuclear non-proliferation and a new climate in international relations fostered by Obama, especially in reaching out to the Muslim world. Like, I don't know.
No,
didn't he drone bomb a bunch of weddings?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, I think he had the most drone bombing before Trump. He had the record.
Yeah, so I don't know what that even means. Like, he just talked on the phone to a bunch of people. I don't know. Seems like if Obama got one, Trump is more than deserving of one. But that was the 2009 was close to the peak of the Obama hype train, because that was before he was really did anything. He was barely in office at that point. I mean, that was his first year in office. His inauguration was 2009, right?
Yeah,
2009. So it was he was in office for 8 months, and they're like, here's a Nobel Peace Prize. Nah, just reading that, I go, this shit is a popularity contest. This isn't.
Yeah. It's the Oscars.
Yeah. This isn't who's most deserving. Sometimes you got to be I know a lot of comedians and actors who go, yeah, it's this shit's bullshit. You stop caring about this stuff because you're these professional accolades, because you're it doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
I was going to say, the only thing that I want from Trump at this point, I'll tell you what I want, just to stop the tariff game. The tariff game is just crazy unstable right now. I don't like looking at my stocks. Not that I know you should look at your stocks all the time, but just looking at the S&P 500 is it has momentum, and then the kind of momentum slows and it has.
If you're a long-term investor, just literally put it away. Just, you don't need, if you have good companies, just put that shit away. Do not look at it. Literally, the best advice I could ever give anybody is, if you own good shit, do not look at it. It's in.
Actually, I bought a whole bunch of A&D April 4th, right after the original tariff news, tanked the market. I bought a whole bunch of A&D, and it just they made that deal with OpenAI, where I guess OpenAI is going to have 10% of A&D, and that shot their stocks through the roof. I think it almost reached 240, and I literally posted in my gaming Discord that's going to drop down to 215 within a week, and it did. I think it's about 216 right now.
Yeah, I would again. You don't want to be one of these people who's just looking at your portfolio every day. You just gotta literally fucking. Do not look. It's the best thing you can do is just let that shit cook and avoid looking at it, because sometimes the swings are and I mean, I've been guilty of stuff like this too, where you're just I look every day and then you make sales. And I mean, I think I have this group chat I have with a bunch of ex Wall Street guys, and one guy was saying some firm, can't remember the exact thing, but some firm some of their dead traders or whatever, or investment managers did the best just because they were dead and they couldn't sell.
Shit.
Literally, sometimes it's just you just have to, if you have a diversified portfolio, it's got good names, you just literally just let time do its thing. And in the meantime, there'll be some crazy swings, but overall, you're just, don't touch it.
All right, Danny, I'm gonna head out. I gotta finish dinner. I want to give a chance to other callers. So
Sure.
good night. Thank you.
Take care. Well, later.
Bye. Bye.
West Texas. All right, let's take another call here. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. Rest in peace, Connor. He was such a good boy. Please unmute yourself, everybody. And the phone lines are open, 1-888-949-2969. This person is not unmuting themselves. Let's try somebody else here. Shout out to Howling Crack for joining the channel. Anton says people that call their dog son or daughter are gay. Well, then I am sucking big old dicks. I am a gay man. Also, shout out to Howling Lebubu. Oh, so now nobody wants to unmute themselves, huh? This is the game we're playing? All right. 1-888-949-2969. None of you give a shit about Israel. That's fair enough. I don't actually care. I guess I'm more surprised than anything. I certainly don't care about it, but I know this was the cause du jour for the while. Where everybody goes, you got to care about Israel, Palestine. I go, I don't. Even Jews are like, you got to care. I go, I don't. Yo, Slav, what's up, man?
Hey, you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, what's going on?
What's happening?
Hey, yeah, sorry to hear about Connor.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, y'all, what is it? Wait, y'all have his ashes, but, did y'all bury him anywhere yet?
Bury him? No, we had the choice to bury him
or the box.
We have the box. No, we're not going to bury it. We just have it on our
Yeah, are y'all going to do that Jew thing where y'all put like pebbles and rocks?
No, because he doesn't have he doesn't have a tombstone. Funny enough, you say that though, because the cemetery / crematorium we went to, which is called the Hartsdale Pet Cemetery in Hartsdale, New York. A lot of Jewish dogs there. It's the oldest pet cemetery. There were some tombstones there from the 1800s, or early 1900s. But there was like Jewish dogs where they have the Star of David on the tombstone, and some of them did have the stones on top of them.
Do they circumcise Jew dogs?
I don't believe so. That's a good question. But I don't believe so, because usually you purchase them after that window. I've never heard of circumcising a dog, but generally when you buy them, when you buy a dog, you don't get them till they're like 20 weeks old or something. There are a few months before you actually get them. I don't know what the reason behind that is. So you probably missed the window. But no, you don't. There's no, as far as I know.
Yeah. Well, he's somewhere in heaven. So, anyways, I was calling in because I wanted to give a bit of a shout out to one of your colleagues.
Okay.
He's a New York comedian. Actually, it's two of them. You know Miguel Silva and Drew Flores, the guys from Dork Court.
I've heard of Dork Court. I've never seen either of those names on a lineup at a comedy show. Drew Silva?
And Miguel Flores. What is it now? Miguel Silva and Drew Flores. Yeah.
Miguel?
They're two cats. They're, one, Miguel is like this big, tall, guapo stick. And then Drew's kind of like bony. They do.
Oh, I've met. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen Miguel. Have I seen Miguel actually? He looks, somewhat familiar. The other one I don't know. Are they Philly guys? Dork Court. I'm looking at his Instagram right now. Oh, okay. I see Ethan Mead on one of these shows. He's been on the Bathhouse a couple times. He's really funny. Oh, okay. Okay. Sure.
He could fuck off.
So you've I imagine you probably liked Kill Tony at some point. Why have you soured on it?
Oh no, I like the guest. The guest.
Why don't you like Tony?
No, you've met him in person.
He's a nice dude. He's actually like, honestly, I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this because I want to be on Kill Tony. I've never been on Kill Tony.
I'm indifferent.
He's a really nice guy.
Reason to like him.
He's actually
I have
like
no reason to like him, but I don't have any reason to fully dislike him.
Okay, well, I can tell you, like I've hung out with him a few times.
I'm indifferent to him.
Okay, I've hung out with him like a few times. Like I don't know him super well, but like he's always been really nice to me. And everybody around. Like it's not like he's one of those things where like, oh, he's being shitty to that guy. Like he's a pretty normal, chill guy. I know he gets a bad rap in some capacity, but he's been a good dude to me.
Two more shout outs.
Yeah.
Before I get to one of the topics,
sure.
One of them is Michael, another comedian. He lives in Philadelphia.
Okay.
His name is Michael Trainer, and on Twitch he also does the Walking Dead Zone. We basically watch the Kensington and Delaney.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
Make fun of it.
That's
and then
fun.
the other one is Dunbar. He got a show called Bricks and Flicks. He puts together Lego sets while watching a movie that's related to the Lego set.
That is next level
And,
autism right
they're
there. How many
both
fucking
on Twitch.
podcasts do you watch a week, man? What are we talking about here? I've always been curious about this.
Watch?
Watch or
Probably
listen.
like
20?
I listen to a lot, but usually when I'm listening to them, I'm doing stuff like
Right.
I'm running errands, I'm in the gym, I'm working. Like
Right.
that's what I like about podcasts because it's something I could just have on in the background.
Yeah.
You know? I listen.
Sure.
I like listening to voice cast.
Sure.
In the morning and stuff.
Sure. No, I'm just curious because whenever I do like a gas show, I feel like every gas show you're always there. Even like the more obscure
Oh yeah,
ones.
I love talking shit, bro.
Yeah,
Talking shit's my favorite.
That makes sense. Anyways, all right. Well, everybody go check out all those things, Dork Court and whatnot.
Door swords, but what is it? So the topic I was going to get to first off, Canada has fallen.
Oh yeah.
Costco is selling beef for $90 a kilogram.
I saw that. Yeah, that was filet mignon though. But the thing is
It doesn't matter. It
I
doesn't
know.
even fucking matter what cut it is.
The crazy thing is like Canada has a beef industry, like Alberta beef is like a thing. But yeah, Costco, I mean, even when I used to shop at Costco, let's see what the filet, okay, this is just Google filet mignon price per pound, which says it should be about $50 for 2 pounds. You know what? It's like if you go, this is direct from farmer price per pound. Let's just see filet mignon cost.
Bro, it doesn't matter. All the muzzies in Canada, they're straight up just slaughtering halal style in their backyards, the same way they do in burning goatsies in England. It's
Let's see. Let's see what Whole Foods has this cost at here. I can't seem to find it. Because just looking, kind of doing the back of the envelope math there, it didn't seem that crazy actually, because there's an exchange rate, right? You understand that there's like you have to tack on an additional 40%. So $100 a pound.
For what?
For the exchange rate. When you're comparing it to US dollars, it's actually $70 US per kilogram, which is about $32 a pound, which I don't think is, it's a little up there. I don't think that's like insane though. I don't eat filet mignon, so I'm kind of talking out my ass here.
Yeah, bro, I don't give a fuck about numbers and shit. I know it's too much.
You just see the number, you go, that you're like the rent is too damn high guy. You go, it's just too damn high.
No, it's like, no, like you ain't taking red meat away from me, dog.
I'm not saying, but I mean, you got to eat fucking filet mignon. Can you do ground beef?
Bro, I eat all cuts of the cow. Like,
yeah, I mean ground beef is.
Be stuck eating Rocky
Dude, you
Mountain
just go
oysters.
fucking man. If you're in the gym and you want to just get fucking jacked, man, just literally pound of ground beef in a pan, a little rice. You're cooking, man. That's an anabolic meal right there.
Yeah. So also the other thing. So y'all were talking about this. So about this thing that happened with the extermination of people in the 40s.
Sure.
However you want it. Yeah, the Anuda Shoah. That's how you Jews call it.
The Shoah.
Anuda Shoah.
Anuda?
Yeah.
No, I think that's
Anuda.
It's like someone. I think it's like someone in New York's being like Anuda. I think that's supposed to be like another.
No, yeah, Anuda Shoah. It's like the great. It's whatever Yiddish for the Holocaust is. But
it's no, it's Anuda is like another. It's like another Shoah, as in like it's like another Holocaust.
Yeah, well, the great
Jews don't say Anuda.
Whatever it's called.
It's Anuda is the meme.
I don't care what they fucking say. I don't want to have to hear them anymore about it. But
buddy, you're gonna be hearing about it for the rest of your natural life, pal.
Well, Danny, I'm gonna concede with you. You know what? Jews are white, and in World War II, 6 million whites were killed in the Holocaust.
It was way more than 6 million.
Deserve reparations.
It was way more than 6 million.
White
it was
people
like
deserve reparations for it, and
Sure.
white people should not be criticized because if white people are criticized, another white Holocaust will happen.
You want me to tell you something that's about to piss you off? You want to know something that's about to piss you off real bad? There are currently Jews alive right now who receive reparations from the German government.
Yeah, dude,
to this day.
Why does Germany send reparation money to the nation that was created?
Because they did a bad thing, Slav. They did a bad thing, and they feel bad about it, and they have a lot of money. And so they go, yeah, we'll absolve our guilt with a couple shekels.
I'm going to tell you about these gas chambers. You know who actually, the only people who ever employed actual gas chambers?
Who's that?
It was the Jewish Bolsheviks with the NKVD.
They're the only ones. So then gas chambers do work, contrary to what Jared said.
No, they used bread trucks and vans.
Yeah.
And they would hook up the tailpipe into the back section.
That doesn't seem particularly efficient.
In Ukraine.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said that doesn't seem particularly efficient.
I've posted this into the Patreon chat.
Yeah.
But the only gas chambers were used by Jewish Bolsheviks.
Ever.
And like I've said my story here before. My great grandfather, he was a POW in Buchenwald.
Yeah.
He was, because before the war, he was a microbiologist, and they found that out, the Germans, and they made him create typhus vaccines, and he thought it was for the troops, so he sabotaged the ones he worked with alongside all the other POWs.
Do you think your grandfather would be ashamed of you that you're such a glazer for the Germans now? You just glazed the Germans so hard when he hated them so much?
He spent 3 years in Buchenwald.
Yeah.
When he was liberated, he had a choice of he could either walk west to be captured by Americans, or he could walk back east because he had a wife and kids already.
Sure.
He decided to walk back east. He was captured by Soviet military field intelligence, and he was sentenced 11 years to Gulag because he was a POW.
That fucking Gulag, man, always get you.
My family was treated worse by the Jew Bolsheviks than any Nazi that
the Jew Bolsheviks. They hated Jews in Russia. What do you mean? My parents.
There is not a single document that exists on Earth of Nazis wanting to explicitly murder any Jew. They went out of their way to limit the suffering of the Jew.
And you believe that?
Frontline combat. Huh?
You believe that?
But believe it? No, it's reality. Show me a single
type of
document that
reality.
says we need to exterminate. No, because the reality is we need to lower these numbers of deaths. They're starving because allies are bombing our supply line. We need to. They keep getting sick because the Soviets are all of our slave labor, sabotaging the medicine to keep these Jews alive. The SS was trying to keep Jews alive.
Sure. Yeah. The benevolent SS. Man.
Danny, you've been brainwashed. It's time to undo the brainwashing.
Okay. Sure, man.
I mean, you keep saying it, bro, but after you and I pass away, there's gonna be generations after us who are like, yeah, wow, look, and all of that was a lie.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I will say that
they lied to us about Hitler. They lied to us that Hitler killed himself. No, he lived in Argentina, was being surveilled by the CIA.
Sure. Well, the problem is, and while I am partial to that theory, we just don't have any hard evidence. So at that point, you're just like, it's a theory, which I do subscribe to a degree. I mean, I had the U-boat hunter guy on Shark Hunters.
The German is a very meticulous breed. They
That's
document everything. They're very anal and autistic about shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they were all being flim-flam about their documentation.
Sure. And you're saying no documentation exists. So if I were to find documentation, you would completely change your tune on this.
What, the Visa agreement?
So wait, you even know there's documentation? You're just like, no, not that documentation.
That's made up.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's false.
So basically your contention is that anything I were to find, you'd be like, that's made up. Obviously, that's made. Oh, okay. All right.
Well, Dan, explain to me why there were 150,000 Jews in the Wehrmacht. Explain to me why there were 50,000.
Well, because there was lots of Jews in Germany.
Socialist Party.
I mean, the Jews. That's the thing with the Jews in Germany. They were very much like, we're German first. We're Jewish second. They're like, we're not Jews first. We're Germans first. They're Jews second, and they go, no, not having that.
See, that second part. That's another made up G lie. See, there were Jews who.
Go ahead.
You can't.
Go ahead. You make me laugh. It's literally an involuntary reaction. I'm not doing this to fuck with you. It's funny to me. Continue.
I understand why it's funny, and I mean, look at Europe now. Was World War II worth it?
Worth what?
Was it really worth it?
If I go to Europe, I'm going for a fucking week.
They all speak Arabic.
What the fuck do I give a shit about what's going on in Europe? I go there for a week for vacation once every 4 years. I don't care what's going on there.
Look at where your parents live.
In Canada?
They're all surrounded by demon-worshipping Hindus.
I mean, Canada, I will concede, has had a bit of a fall off, but that could be course corrected.
Your parents got told by their leaders, if somebody breaks into your parents' home, they have to comply.
That was always like that, though. That's not new. The only difference is that now it's happening. So then they're like, "Hey, this is happening now." But like that was always the rule. You just never had to worry about it.
Put up a fight?
Fuck, my dad put up a
fight.
Is
your dad a physically able person?
My dad is actually in tremendous health. It was just his 77th birthday on October 7th. Which also happened.
Can your 77-year-old dad fight off a pack of Ute?
No.
When them Ute break in?
No, but thankfully they live in a pretty safe, aka white neighborhood, so they'll be okay. They'll be all right. They're not too concerned. They live in a pretty low crime. But I will say, like the town I grew up in, Burlington, Ontario. I don't like. I'll follow like local news on Twitter and stuff, and they'll be like, "Yeah, there was like a drive-by." I'm like, that shit didn't happen when I was a kid. There are no drive-bys in Burlington, Ontario. That was not a thing that happened ever, and they certainly happen now. So, I mean, I'm not like arguing with you about this, but in terms of like the whole thing of like defending yourself, you couldn't do that before. They didn't have to say it.
What do you mean? You could do it when it was still a Commonwealth in the 60s.
In my lifetime,
70s.
like, dude, they had that guy in, I can't remember where it was, in Belleville or something. The guy who we talked about, who like he stabbed a guy who broke into his house with a fucking crossbow, and they're like, yeah, you stabbed him too much, so now you're like basically facing charges or whatever. And I was reading an article about it, and there's like it's so fucked up actually. I mean, the American mind cannot comprehend such a thing, but there is no shortage in Canada of these stories of someone breaking into someone's house, them killing the person who broke into their house or like, you know, maiming them severely, and the person whose house got broken into is facing all these charges. They almost always get off, but not before this like hellacious experience where they're like, the experience was punishment enough. Like 2 years of like, you know, facing jail time, house arrest, like all this stuff. And, you know, but like this has been going on for a long time. Like this has existed for a long time. It's just, it was so rare, but you were never allowed to defend yourself. It's a cucked country. I'm not denying it. But we also don't have any shootings. So
knowing what you know now, seeing how we've all seen happen to the West over the last 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Do you think World War II should have just not happened and Hitler should have just been left alone and just keep Europe, you know?
I mean, strong? I'd say like, yeah, I don't know. I don't love like the Nazi flags flying in Paris. I feel like Paris is better off not being occupied by the Germans.
Parisians felt better and safer under Nazi occupation than they did before or during American occupation, especially the women. The women of Paris were constantly getting gang raped by the colored troops once the Americans so-called liberated Europe. That is true. You can read their diaries. That's all censored. If you want sources, I can give you sources, dog.
Yeah. Like, you speak French?
All I'm saying is, yes, I actually took French in middle school.
Speak some French to me, Slav. Let's hear it.
No, I can't speak it. I can read it. Like I can read Latin languages.
Okay.
Like I can.
Okay. I'm learning new things about you. I'm learning new things about you. I don't think if you just went and polled your average Parisian, they go, this would have been way better if this was Germany.
Well, no, because they've all been brainwashed, and now they're too scared because they're either having to look over their shoulder because some fuckface from Africa.
You think so? You think the world would be better if like all like basically Man in the High Castle, essentially, where you're like just all of Western Europe was just Germany.
This whole notion about Hitler wanted to conquer the world is a lie. Hitler only wanted to save the Germanic regions of Europe.
How do you wind up in Paris?
That was a strategic move, and he was welcome. Like everywhere where.
Well, that wasn't Germanic people. He just wanted.
You never seen the footages of him going into Austria, Czechoslovakia, Western Poland, Eastern France? They were all welcome.
Sure. I mean, maybe they were welcome, but also it might be one of those things where, like, yeah, if we don't welcome them, then they'll kill us.
No, that's not true. No, they were welcomed, and the people who were against it, it was all those who were backed by the Rothschilds in those communities. Being the Jews who wanted to uphold this. Bro, we've been lied to about everything, and I understand your trepidation and you just being upset. Like, I understand if you've lived your whole life as a lie and everything you've been told has been a lie, it is hard to accept, and it's like a weight on your shoulders. But the most liberating thing is...
How does this affect me, though?
I was lied to. Just embrace it.
I mean, I know that it is freeing. I mean, my thoughts currently on history is that it's all in the kind of like the weeds, lots of lies. The broader story is generally true. The smaller stories that make up the larger stories is full of lies.
So are you of the notion that only the good guys win every war?
No. No, I'm not. I mean, obviously, no.
Yes. Yeah, so what makes you think that, the good guys won the war of northern aggression? That the good guys won, the Great War?
Yeah.
The good guys.
I mean, someone's got to win. I mean, someone's got to win, and I mean, you have to say, like, if you're the winner, there's something to that. If you were victorious, it's like you were better than the other guys.
I'm gonna.
One of you was the loser. This one thing. This fucking Slav. Everybody gets a medal over here. You're doing some of this participation trophy nonsense
for the last several hundred years.
Yeah.
There's never been an actual real war. All these mass conflicts have been nothing but spiritual human sacrifices.
World War I wasn't a real war?
It's a ritualistic mass human sacrifice.
Okay.
Like if you look at like the actual notions of a real war, it's like we defend our identity and our spirit and our tie to the soil. None of these wars have been any about that. It's all about literally how the Rothschilds are like, I'm going to send my 5 sons so they can fund all these different wars because we can't work off the land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like,
I mean, I don't know. It seems like World War II, obviously America felt like, somewhat. I mean, they had all these...
had no business.
Yeah, but like they had all these POW camps. They had all these POW camps in Canada and the United States during World War II, and all the Germans were like, they're like, we're on our way over. They're like, you guys are done. When they come and liberate us from these things, like whether they were going to do it or not, like they believed it. They believed that the Germans were coming.
No, but what is it? War for the past few hundred years, even before the Napoleonic Wars, it's all been for the financial gain of the most
certainly. I agree. There's
nebbish people ever. It's not a genuine war.
Yeah,
like they can't fight for themselves, so they're like vultures sitting on like a power line, watching corpses fight each other over their own maggots. Like, it is literally how Judaism is not a true Abrahamic religion. Isn't it
the original Abrahamic religion? Isn't it the first one?
The only true faith is in Christ. Like, literally, this whole notion of that Jesus is Jewish is false because he literally is like, God told me, like, y'all doing this shit wrong. I'm stopping y'all. And they killed him. And he came back. He's like, what the fuck now? And they're going to like,
damn it. You might have just got me demonetized for that one. You better fucking hope not. You better pray to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ that you didn't just get my channel demonetized, Slav, because you are on 3 strikes currently. 2 strikes, actually. All right, I got to let you go. Good talking to you, Slav. That was Slav. What a time it always is, huh? We always have a good time. All right, stay on the line. We're going to get to you all. Oh, you know what? I'm going to talk to this guy. I'm going to talk to this gentleman sometime. And phone lines are closed, everybody. You had your chance.
Hello?
Pablo. What's up, buddy? Pablo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How's it going? You're on Low Value Mail.
I'm doing good, Danny. I'm doing good. First of all, sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Dog. Heartfelt apologies.
It's a real loss.
I would like to, yes, I would like to walk away from racism and the Jews, please.
Okay.
Good.
Yes. I think we've had our fill.
I don't know. I thought so, and that's what I called. I don't know. You probably don't care. Most people probably don't care. I would like to talk about cars and car modification, but more importantly, the right to repair.
Okay. I like this. So, let's hear it.
All right. So anybody who doesn't know, there was recently an event last week called a Slammed Enough Gatlinburg. It's just a car show for people who like to lower their cars to the ground. That was canceled on day 2 because TikTokers went around harassing the streets. And by harassing the street, I mean takeover videos where they were shutting down intersections, shutting down businesses, doing burnouts. They were doing donuts. They were street racing in the middle of the city.
Yep.
They were doing a ton of dumb shit, and the police cracked down on them and eventually said, you know what, this whole event is shut down and it will not come back.
Okay.
They just.
I just like to be on record that I hate these types of people, but continue.
I agree with you. These guys, they don't really care about cars. They're just doing it for views on TikTok and Instagram. Like they do not, right? Because the car show, it was mostly just people parked their cars. They went around looking at cool cars, and that's about it, right?
Okay.
Buy some merch, that type of deal.
I mean, I used to like a good car show when I was a kid. Nothing wrong with a car show.
They're great. They're great. I mean, I'm an adult now. They're a little bit more boring. I prefer to go racing and crashing cars, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is, the city kind of forced the hand on this, right? So usually what happens with events like this is there will be the main event, right? The day show where people just park their cars and look at them. Then there'll be a meetup spot somewhere either nearby where people who couldn't get into the event or didn't pay to be in the event will park their cars. So, it's sort of a free sideshow type of deal. But it's the same thing. They just park their cars, they eat some food, they talk with people, they hang out. It's just supposed to be a hang.
Yeah.
The city of Gatlinburg took the largest parking lot in the city and just shut it down. They just said no one can park here. It's supposed to be a public parking spot, and it was supposed to be a spot where people meet up after the main event ended, and they just shut it down. And so it forced these people to go somewhere else. And the city has been getting more and more fed up with car shows because they keep saying that it interrupts their daily lives.
Yeah.
Right. And so businesses kept saying, no. And there was one gas station that said, absolutely, I love cars. I love the car community. You guys can come here. Just don't block entrances. Don't block the pumps and rotate out. Right. A very reasonable demand of people.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
14-year-old TikTokers started showing up and started doing burnouts and blocking it and ruined the whole event for everybody.
That's what happens.
I'm getting to about this.
That's what happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to about this is that this is now gonna be used as stature for getting other car shows shut down. Essentially, when somebody goes to request to ask permission from a city to do a car show in a spot, they will go, actually, no, we're not gonna let that happen because of what happened in Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, here's the thing: is like as far as I understand, when you ask for some sort of special permit for an event, they weigh the pros and the cons. And if the cons outweigh the pros, they go, it's just not worth it. Like, we don't need the money. So, I mean, it's one of those things. You guys got to police your own people because you're just like, you're ruining it for everybody else. Like if there's like a lot of money to be made, someone will be like, yeah, I'll do it. But you might wind up, you're like, yeah, we got to go do this on some farm where nobody gives a shit. And, you go to a farm and everybody can go park their cars and maybe do it there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I lived around this shit, I would be like, why are you guys giving them permits for this stuff? This is ridiculous.
Right. And I'm not saying anything bad against that because the guys that were doing that were assholes.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that this is now going to be used as stature for shutting down car shows.
Yeah.
And the more important part about the right to repair is that they're going to be using this to crack down on vehicle modifications. And I don't know if you've been keeping up on the right to repair recently.
No, I only know it in the context of like phones and stuff and electronics, and that was a big kind of contentious.
Right. So the problem with that is if you're not up to date, it all applies to any type of electronic device or mechanical device. So not just your phone and your computer, your lawnmower, your car, your boat. Anything that would need a repair is basically dictated by a company's claim that you don't own the product, right? So you buy a car, you buy a $30,000 car, a $40,000 car, pick your fucking price of the car. The company does have a kind of legal basis to say you don't actually own the car, you can't change shit on it. And if you do change anything on it, any right to warranty.
Yeah, that I know. I know that because I've replaced an iPhone battery before, which led to a fire and my phone literally melting in my hands. But I know that they say they're like, if you make any modifications to an iPhone, your warranty's voided immediately. I know that. I didn't know that for cars, but that makes somewhat sense.
It doesn't make sense because
but you can always modify a car that's out of. How long is a car in warranty for?
It depends. It depends on the brand. The best brands have like a 6-year warranty.
Yeah,
like a 6-year, 60,000 mile warranty.
Okay,
but that's not the point, right? Because it's not the car makers don't just want you to not be able to modify within warranty. They don't want you to modify even outside of warranty, right? They are putting into effect laws that limit if you can change your fucking wheels or not, like something that they should have no.
How can they stop you though? How can someone stop you from changing the wheels on your car?
Well, first of all, here in California, right, there's smog. So you cannot put any modifications to your car that would affect smog. And if you do add something, it has to be California smog certified, which is basically a $2,000 tax on all these parts. If you go online and look up for smog certified parts, go to smog certified versus non-smog certified. It's literally 100x the price.
And that's because of the tax.
Stupid.
That's just the tax portion of it, or is it
Not
more
just
expensive?
Tax, not just tax, because they have to get it board certified by the California smog.
Sounds like a scam.
The part that they develop that does it's exactly that, Danny. It does the exact same thing, but one's certified, one's not. It's horse shit. And here's a big thing that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
Any car produced after the year 2020 produces cleaner air than the cities that you drive it in. A car is literally a filter for air now, even after the combustion, right? So because cars are getting so clean, smog is starting to become less and less required, right?
Mm-hmm.
Air is getting cleaner. They're really starting to run out of a job. So what do these government guys who have government jobs who depend on requiring smog certifications do in order to ensure that they keep their jobs? They start going after things that don't involve purely the engine. So, not a big secret, in 2026, smog certification will now come to tires and brake pads.
Whoa.
Right? So,
tires.
So you gotta
tires
use
make
that.
smog?
Tires, because tires wear out and release particles into the air that's bad for your lungs, Danny. Right? The big secret to this is that all these tires that they are planning to smog certify first, because they're planning to do it for racing tires, like 200 treadwear or less, 100 treadwear or less.
And this is
tires,
California only? This is California the only place doing
California only. But
Sounds
guess
like
what?
you got to move to Vegas, pal.
I'm trying, but listen, tire brands aren't going to make a California only tire. They're going to put all the same technology they put into the California tire and sell it everywhere, and everybody's going to be paying more for tires. Tires are already expensive enough. You don't need them to be twice the price now.
Can you get them shipped in out of state to avoid this?
You can't because companies, in order not to get sued by California for that, will refuse to ship to California. What most people do right now is they'll ship somewhere outside of California and they'll to a buddy's house and they'll go pick it up. That's what I do currently with my buddy who moved to Nevada.
Dude, you should set up like a black market. You should set up like a black market tire shop. You just go get a fucking semi. You go out of state, pick up a bunch of tires, bring them back. Profit, baby.
Danny, so that's not the point, right? My point is that they're doing this to the most aggressive tires, right?
Yeah.
Tires that really only ever go racing, right? These are tires that they will say on the marketing for these tires, they will not last more than 10,000 miles because that's how aggressive they are.
Yeah.
The California Board of Smog is saying these tires are so aggressive, they put so much smog in the air, we need to regulate them. There was a study done by Toyo Tires for their R888. This is a 100 treadwear tire. 98% of those tires never wear down. These guys will out-age these tires before they replace them. So why is California doing this? They are doing this just to keep their jobs, right?
Sure.
So they're going to go for your tires. They're going to
it's the ultimate nannies. I mean, you live in the ultimate nanny state of all the states.
I know. I fucking
you basically live in Canada. That's the kind of shit they do in Canada.
They do it in Germany. They do it in England. They're trying to turn this into one of those fucking European countries.
Yeah, and you know what the problem is just like probably most people don't know about this and don't even give a shit. It'll be such a...
I know, but what I'm saying...
Are there any lobbyists who are profiting from this whole thing happening? Or is it just the state?
I don't know about lobbyists.
Are there companies that benefit from this, or is this pure bureaucracy?
Probably brake companies and tire companies that can increase the price of their tires.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fucking scam.
That's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that sounds like a total nanny state scam.
It is, and listen, this is what I'm getting to is that like this isn't just a car thing. I care about cars, but if they can do this to cars, one of the most expensive things you will ever buy in your life, they will do it to everything else from your lawnmower to your fucking headbuds. I don't care what they're going to do. And they're going to start putting small certifications on things like a computer. I guarantee you, eventually, give it 10 years, they will say computers release too many gases through manufacturing process, and there will be $1,000 tax on computers already on top of how expensive they are.
But only in California.
I guarantee it. But only in California, and guess what brands will do? They'll use that as an excuse to raise prices even more.
Yeah. Well, sounds like you got to move, Pablo. I've never heard you fired up about anything like this. I can tell this is very important to you. You're like the Beau of...
already so expensive.
I know. You're like Beau is with guns. This is you with fucking repairing your car. You're like Beau with tires. Well, you find out who your local congressperson is and go show up with
I've been writing this for years, Danny.
Yeah, go show up with a bunch of your friends and do donuts in his parking lot.
I might start running for government at this point, just to try to slow this down at least.
Do it, man. You will have my support. We'll raise money for you. We'll make you some sick attack ads. Do it, Pablo. All right, later, man. Pablo, everybody. All right, phone lines are closed. Don't call in anymore. All right, let's try these people who didn't unmute themselves earlier. Let's see if they can figure it out. Second time around. I mean, they've been on hold for an hour and a half. Can they figure out? The question is, can they figure out how to unmute themselves? I believe in them, but we sure do have some scroats who listen to this show. Nope, this one's not able to. Let's try another one. It's not that hard, unless they maybe died. Hello.
Hello.
You're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hi.
Hey.
This is Cole from Peoria.
Cole from Peoria. What's up, man?
Not much. What do you want to talk about, Danny? There's a lot of topics.
It's the floor is yours. I mean, whatever you want to talk about. Yeah. I mean, there's lots going on.
I'll say basically just to give props to some of the callers. They've centered on some of the central issues. Slav said he loved beef.
Yeah.
If you look at the $20 billion bailout to Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's largely a currency buyout for us to stabilize beef ventures against the Chinese, who currently own 70%.
Okay, so there you go.
It's basically a short-term loan to fuck over the Chinese, if anybody wants to know why.
There you go. See, that's the thing is we get a lot of you get these headlines and then you're just your initial reaction is you react to the headline without getting a lot more information. But again, you're there is, they're not that stupid, these guys. And, there might be a method to their madness here. So I don't mind that. If that's what's going on, we'll get cheaper beef and fuck over the Chinese.
I mean, the last time this happened was in 1995 with Mexico. Okay. And that was mostly for a Wall Street bailout. And it was $20 billion then, certified by Bill Clinton.
Interesting. Do we have any idea of how that worked out? By the way, I'm looking at beef prices in the United States right now. This is from tradingeconomics.com. And they're about where they were 5 years ago.
It's more to do with corn ventures because everybody's got massive quantities of debt and subsidy. Yeah. So Argentina still exports most of its corn, but the Chinese have effectively destabilized Argentinian the peso.
Okay.
So they're stuck trying to basically it's something to do with cattle ranchers and the inability to buy feed. So I'll leave it to that.
That's probably their largest input for their costs for feeding these beasts is corn. Interesting. So that's good. I mean, if that brings down beef prices and fucks over China, that might be a astute move on. I don't know why they can't just produce beef in this country, enough of it to.
They can, but it's just cheap. It's way cheaper to produce it in South America.
Yeah,
I mean, even the Chinese think so.
That makes sense. Although I am looking in Canada. Canada's 5-year beef prices are up a lot, over 50%. So Canada is
that's mostly labor.
Mostly labor.
I would imagine.
That could be, yeah. They're. I mean, it looks like. I mean, there was a dip in 2023 where it got down to kind of normal, and then I don't know what happened in December of 2023, but beef prices spiked pretty substantially in the last 22 months. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
But I'll give you a pick. Do you want to talk about Israel, the Holocaust, or crime?
Let's talk about Israel because nobody's brought it up. And if you can somehow tie it into crime or the Holocaust, even better.
Okay. All right. I can do both.
Israel, I guess I always wonder why people bitch and moan about Gaza or Palestine for that matter.
Sure.
Because I basically find them the same as Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX.
Okay.
So like the Gaza, they'll basically sit on a piece of land and say, we own this. We've lived here for centuries, blah, 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 blah. We're a legitimate government. We're legitimate. But they'll have no military. They'll have nothing to back up that claim. And meanwhile, they're living on like one of the most valuable pieces of real estate on the planet of Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is nice property as far as property goes. I mean, and definitely is,
I mean, there's property, but there's also just the sheer access to the Red Sea.
Yeah.
Which
natural gas. Apparently they have huge natural gas deposits, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like, there's really no downsides to living there. So that they have they have no backup in terms of like their military force. So it's just like, okay, we live here, we're going to make tons of money, and we're just going to do that.
Yeah. So you see this whole, like Trump's kind of, I mean, it does seem like his aim here is like, this is just this giant real estate deal.
I mean, for him, he understands real estate, but in terms of sheer infrastructure, I've never seen any legitimate argument to, like if you cannot actually defend your land and say like, we have a military presence to back this up, you have nothing really to substantiate any claim that you are a legitimate government. And
sure.
I think, when Israel showed up on the scene, like plenty of countries came for them and said like, what's your legitimacy? We're going to test that with violence. And then
yeah. And Israel held their own.
They countered it and said, yeah, they said, fuck you guys. And this is it. And now, these Palestinians, they're like, well, we're legitimate because we've farted on this piece of grass for long enough. And it's like, well, that's not actually how legitimate.
I mean, I can't even find the place on a map. It's like, why do you just, if you're Israel, so like, imagine you're in this state, you've got these people sitting there, they're claiming, like theocratic or, some kind of like we claim that we're theocratic. We claim that we're peaceful. We claim whatever. And you say, okay, well, if that's true, then we're going to regulate your calories and just give you enough food so that you can continue on with your religious crap. Not enough for them. And then things like tensions escalate, all this crap happens, and then people say, well, why can't you just let them establish economic dominance, make money, and lord over you? And you're like, that's not how, like, it's like a profound misunderstanding how economics and warfare even works. Yeah,
so
for sure.
Eventually you let that go on for 10 years. These people have just way too much money. They're wielding influence. And you say, okay, well, you know what? We're going to destroy most of your infrastructure, impoverish all of you, and then see what your argument is.
Yeah.
That's as much as like that's Israel to me in a handbasket, where you say, yeah, there's these issues, but geography matters.
Yeah.
You can't just say we live in, like why not live in Antarctica and practice your religion?
Right. Right. Or like the number of neighboring places. I understand they're like, well, we don't want to go to a neighboring place. This is our spot. And they have it. But again, it's like with the whole debate over the land is like, it's exactly the same debate over like when people are like, well, you're on stolen land in America. And you're like, well, guess what? I don't give a shit. This is what the situation is now. And, you can relitigate this all you want to whatever fucking point in time that you feel like, but that is not representative of the current situation, which is that this is America or Canada. This isn't your fucking whatever territory you had. And like, this is the current situation.
Well, and there's plenty of land in the world that people don't want.
Yeah. There's plenty of land in this country and Canada that people don't want.
Right. It has that because it has no access to waterways. It has none of the things that make society. And then it's like, we're just going to sit there and arbitrarily underrate what constitutes society so that we can benefit over somebody else.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, what are you talking about?
But I mean, just like if that's your argument, you go, well, this used to be ours. Well, you're like, well, it's not now. So you can start at this current negotiation point where it's not now, and they're being nice enough to still negotiate with you in some capacity, or you can be like, no, it's just like The only thing I'll take is this used to be ours, so it should be ours now. And you go, okay, well, that's not an acceptable starting point to negotiate. So you're like, there's no negotiation.
Well, and it's like because they don't have any point of negotiation. They don't have an army. They don't have anything other than
you're like you don't even have an army.
Right.
So at least like Russia can say this Ukrainian territory was ours. We want it back, and we're gonna fucking come take it from you by force. Yeah, you can do that, and they are.
Right. You have a conflict, and that's war. It's like saying you and what army? That's
right.
Like that's the definition of conflict. So if we want to take it back to Europe and the Holocaust, right now we're seeing a lot of divestment from American companies in terms of we're not following their ESG or ESG metrics.
Yeah.
And so like I think there was a massive Danish and Danish and Norwegian pension funds that divested from American stocks because we don't align with their ESGs. And so you'll see this, and we saw this in World War II and World War I, where companies, I mean, at the time we didn't have any American footholdings, but when people invested in Germany, when they invested in those things, remember IBM was called in to like generate all the serial codes for the concentration camps.
Okay. I didn't know that actually, but.
And oh yeah, if you look it up, IBM they generated all the serial codes for the Holocaust, or what people call the Holocaust. And right now, if we look at the Hunter Biden laptop, we'll find that the laptop's contents indicated Hunter Biden's prevalence on a board of councils under one of it was the Ukrainian oligarch, one of which who is an Israeli, who had vested interests in developing Ukraine capital for like natural gas ventures and all these other things. So there's all these tie-ins with Israel. Israel is a very strategic foothold. It's always been like one of the big things in Europe so that they can kind of outsource.
They're scheming is what you're saying.
Well, it's one of the oldest, like literally if you look geographically, and I would like to remind everybody how geography works. Geography is predominant. It makes up how things work.
Yeah.
And so outsourcing and getting geographic like location is a huge facet of making sure that your conflicts work out the right way and pressuring the right people and doing what you want. So Ukraine is like a byproduct of all of this stuff that we're seeing. And in terms of how that relates back to the Holocaust and other things, basically like right now, Russia is trying to acquire access to Iran. It's trying to get further and further down in the Crimea and then just get access to like good routes of trade, ocean routes, seaports, all kinds of like different economic access. That's like part of its huge push. And the U.S. was definitely part of this and destabilizing.
Huh.
If you look at like, we had like John McCain and other people out there, like pushing different narratives, just like things that would incite violence from people in the area that we knew. So it's like you push a button and then all of a sudden all these people show up to shoot people.
Sure. That's by design.
It happens.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, and
Cole, sorry, I have to let you go because I only have 7 minutes left and I got all these people on the line, but I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for calling, Nicole.
All right.
Cole, everybody. Okay. We got a few more calls here. I'll get to you all, even if it means it's going long. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me today. We're going to go all the way to British Columbia. If these fucking Canucks can figure out a way to pick up their goddamn phone. What is going on with people? What is happening tonight? All right, let's try somebody else. Here we go. Hello, you're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Yo, Danny, it's Tony.
Tony, what's up, man?
Hey, not much. So you said your dad turned 77 this year?
Yeah. Last week.
Do you know, I mean, I'm doing the Rube Star kind of thing, but I think he's a water dragon.
Maybe he's October 7th, 1948.
48? Oh, shoot. My math is off. Okay.
48. Yeah. October 7th.
Then he's an Earth rat.
He's an Earth rat. All right. I'll let him know.
Earth rat.
I'm going to be like, you're an Earth rat. He's like, what?
Yeah, but do you know what you are? I'm sure Rube's told you.
He has told me before for sure. He even mailed me some shit about what I was, but I don't remember. But if it wasn't for Rube, although I don't even remember what my blood type was, but Rube sent me or maybe he sent me a blood testing kit, or I got one on his behest to check something, but I can't even remember what blood I was.
What, did he do like that diet, the blood type diet?
I think that's maybe what he sent it for. I don't know if maybe he'll call in tomorrow night on the bathhouse, but I can't remember exactly, but I'm December 12th, 1983.
Oh, okay, 83. Then yeah, you're a water pig.
Water pig. That checks out. That does check out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of these are accurate.
Yeah. So, okay. I heard Rube call in and he went with like some Chinese zodiac on people for the bathhouse. And I was like, oh, cool. And he was talking about something with like the moon. So I found him on Instagram and I messaged him. I never got a response.
That's surprising. I feel like.
And I even shouted something, but whatever. He's a guy who doesn't like to talk to people. I get it. He's got a good thing going.
Yeah. I think he would like getting messages.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a dormant account. He seems like more of a Facebook guy to me.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. And
when I talk to him, I'll tell him to check his
updated.
Instagram. When I talk to him, I'll tell him to check his Instagram DMs.
Yeah, totally. And it was a guy, Tony Coriolis, that messaged him. It was a while ago.
Okay.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you. So I heard, like, just in passing or something. So Alex Stein, you're good with Alex Stein, yeah?
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine.
Yeah. And did he ever have you go and talk to a flat earther one time?
No, I had Flat Earth Dave on Low Value Mail probably would have been like around 2 years ago at this point. Right when I started doing guests, I had Flat Earth Dave on.
Was there nothing with Alex Stein and another guy?
Flat Earth Dave Alex Stein. No, Alex Stein's been on the show.
And a guy named Jaron.
It's possible. My memory is not good. I don't believe so. Alex Stein has been on the show a couple times in studio. Maybe he called in when I had a Flat Earth guy on. I think I've only had Flat Earth Dave on though for Flat Earth. I can't recall. Maybe it's someone who watches the show, but I can't remember.
No, yeah, I believe you. So the Jaron guy, he like has always been like a flat earther on YouTube, but then now he's back to the globe is his whole thing now. You didn't hear anything of it? And he's a dude that Alex Stein would talk to in the flat earth stuff, but now they're both out.
Jaron Campanella. No, I don't really follow the flat earth world. Oh, this is the guy. Oh, I've heard this guy's name. He did the test where he went to Antarctica and basically was like, it's bullshit. I mean, here's my thoughts on this, and I gotta let you go. I would never trust somebody ever. If you're like, I'm a flat earther, it's cool to change your mind. I'm like, I'm not watching your shit anymore. It's like, because you're either too stupid for me to listen to, or I'm just like, what? So, and what's gonna be the new thing in 6 months? Like, wow, what a fucking genius! He figured out that the Earth is round.
Not yet, and I guess I was only asking you that because I thought Alex said that one time, like he might have done studio, and then he had you talk to Jaron or something. But
maybe that Jaron guy. It's possible that Alex was on the show and that Jaron guy called in. That is possible, just like normal people call in. But I don't think I had him on video. But I could be wrong, and my memory is just fried. But I don't remember him calling in. I'm Googling myself.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I don't think he's ever called.
No pressure on that.
He's definitely never been a guest, but
sorry,
maybe he's called in.
Totally gotcha. And then changing the subject, sorry to even bring that up on you. But no,
it's all good. Just quickly. Wondering. Just quickly.
Okay, yeah, quickly. I think it was Pablo that was talking about how California is just shitty, you know? And I think the guy with some of the best takes on it is Adam Carolla. He's going into the whole Malibu fires and how much they make it like impossible to build.
Yeah.
He's got some great takes.
Yeah, Adam's
Pablo
man.
Doesn't know.
Yeah, Adam's man. All right, thanks, man. Thanks, Tony. Tony, everybody. Yeah, I got to hang out with Adam Carolla once for like half an hour, and he was really cool. I was actually surprised. Okay, we're going to try and take these calls. You have literally 5 seconds to unmute yourself, and then I send you to the fucking caller graveyard. Oh, you were almost getting sent to the graveyard.
Danny.
Hello.
Danny.
Tony Scarbone.
Not much, man. How's it going?
How you doing?
No, my name's Patrick.
Oh, Patrick. I thought it was Tony Scarbone. What's up, Patrick? How's it going?
No,
you guys sound the same.
Much. I'm just
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, we're all scum around here.
BC.
I'm also from Burlington, but now I live in Victoria, and I was just calling because I saw your sister. Your sister was catching some strays on the Reddit here.
My sister.
And
I don't have a sister.
and
I don't have a sister.
You don't have her. You don't have a sister?
Oh, Jody.
That's so funny. Yeah, Jody.
That's my brother.
Yeah, and so. Oh, brother. Oh, sorry. Yeah, brother. Yeah. Anyway,
his name's Joseph, but for
like,
some reason he went by Jody when he was a kid, and he's just Jody.
Nice, real. Yeah. Well,
have you been to the burger shop?
Anyway, it was really. I haven't myself. No, because
I heard
I'm a cook,
it.
So I don't eat anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Canadian beef, actually.
Yeah. So what are the strays related to me?
Well, anyway, it was actually kind of it was kind of funny because they were like people were his response was like all caps being like pretty abrasive and like pretty hilarious.
Everybody like gets pissed off because he on his social media he posted in all caps.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. And then he's like it couldn't have been raw, all this like hilarious shit. But anyway, people were like, why is this guy like this? He talks like the Orange Menace. And then somebody was like, oh, Danny's like, or they were like, I heard his brother's a right wing podcaster and like all this funny stuff. So, anyway,
my brother hates Trump,
so
by the way.
I was on there white knighting for you. I was telling them that's
appreciate
pretty funny. Yeah.
Appreciate it. If anybody's in Victoria, BC, go check out Murder Burger. They have
that's right.
Yeah,
it's apolitical.
It's apolitical. Yeah, he's killing it. But that is funny that somehow I got brought up.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
funny.
good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm also from Burlington too.
Oh, really? Where in Burlington are you from?
I went to Aldershot and Brock.
Oh, yeah. Okay, not far from me. I went to Adam Robinson. Not far away.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Hell yeah.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for calling in. I got to wrap this up, though.
That's all my exciting story.
Good talking to you, man. Later. All right. 2 more calls. I'm not a right-wing podcaster, by the way. Just to be clear. I have no allegiance to any party. Hello.
Hello?
What's up? You made it. I tried to unmute you earlier, but it didn't work out. But you've made it onto the show. Who am I speaking with?
Jared?
Jared. What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm from Indiana. What's up?
Jared from Indiana. You made it. What's up, dude?
Yeah. Oh, on the thing they said I never got the thing that said press *6, and then I got it this time, so I pressed it, and now here I am.
Weird. Very bizarre.
Yeah. Anyway, it's like really cool to like meet you. This is like I don't know, like you're probably the most famous person I've ever talked to.
That is so depressing, man. But cool.
Is it?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I watched you and Ryan Long's podcast like all the time, and then I found out about this one, and I tune in from time to time.
Cool.
Yeah. But anyways, so were you guys like talking about like Israel Palestine or like
it's open lines tonight. It's whatever you want to talk about. It's
all right. I noticed
a
lot of your fans aren't fond of Jews.
No, just like 2 of them. It's really just 2 of them. I mean, at the end of the day, they're watching a show that is put on by a Jew, so they can't hate them that much.
That's a good point.
I mean,
yeah.
Except for the 2 of them. The 2 of them really don't like Jews, but
even them are like, but you're cool.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I get. That's how I get them. Soon they're going to be at a bar mitzvah, and they're going to be like, "What the fuck happened?"
That's funny. The Israel Palestine thing. I'm not super optimistic about that one.
I'm not either. I know a lot of people are, and obviously Trump is just like, this thing's over. This will never flare up again. I'm like, this thing's like herpes. It goes away, comes back.
I don't know how much you've looked into that little thing, but they have kind of like a rocky relationship.
That's quite the understatement. to say they have a rocky relationship. Like the only way that this could possibly be successful is they throw so much fucking money at them and like just so much Western excess that these people are like, our lifestyle is so good that they're like, none of this bullshit is worth it. But at the end of the day, it's like a fundamentalist, like religious conflict. So generally they're just like, yeah, we don't care about these material items. But that's like the only thing is like, if you're just like, yeah, they're all driving fucking Beamers, living in these like sick places. They got the brand new iPhone and they're just like, you're just like, you guys like Saudi shit where like, you guys are all just like set for life. And it's so good where they're like, it is not worth fucking this up. That's like the only way, but I still am not hopeful of that happening.
Well, and I think I might be kind of dumb because I never really know where to like fall on anything. Like you were talking about like flat Earth earlier.
Yeah.
and I'm not like super one way or another, but like I remember like I used to watch like podcasts and stuff where people would like debate it and stuff.
Sure.
And yeah, and like I just kind of realized like I would kind of start going along with like who was making good points most recently.
Okay.
So I don't but like I feel like I do that with a lot of things. Like a lot of like the dudes on like that World War II Holocaust stuff are like, I hear them like saying a lot of the stuff and I'm like, oh, that is interesting. Like, I don't know. Like I heard something about like a Ferris wheel or like something like that.
Sure. Yeah. And, they talk about the pool. Well, there's the pool. I don't think there was ever a Ferris wheel. They're like one of the camps in Czechoslovakia had a pool, I believe, but that wasn't a concentration camp.
Well, I'm not like an expert either. Like,
no, I'm definitely not an expert.
But like, but like, I'm sure you've heard like that Cookie Monster like analogy.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Like I heard like Ben Shapiro get all pissed about it once. It was kind of funny.
I'm
sorry, but
I haven't looked into the Cookie Monster thing very much. I know it. The only thing I know for a fact is that it uses the fallacy that 6 million Jews were killed. Obviously, assuming whatever you believe, but like they're saying 6 million Jews were killed in a concentration camp, and that's not a claim anybody makes. Like that's not actually. They go, it couldn't be possible. You go, nobody makes that claim. So just instantly,
well, see, now that you told me that,
like no Jews are like 6 million Jews died in concentration camps. Like nobody says that.
Well, now that you told me that, like next time someone says something Holocaust denying, I'm like, actually, they didn't die in the Holocaust in the chambers.
And I mean, I've said it before. Like I had this ex, and her mom was like in the Canadian military that like liberated concentration camps, and they sent her this little book that she showed me, and like in the book, which was probably provided 10 years, sometime in the early 50s, I think it said 4 million in there. So these numbers have been revised, and there's no way, obviously, it was 6 million on the nose. So,
sure.
There's a give and take there, I'm sure. It wouldn't shock me if the Jews were like, you know what, let's round up to the nearest million.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true too. I mean, you never know where the actual number is going to land because it was a long time ago, and
it was probably impossible to get a direct. Like it's impossible for them to be like, yeah, we know to the man how many died. Like it's an estimate.
Well, yeah. Also, a lot of people they ask, like, I don't know, like if you know much about Nazis, but like I don't think they're above lying.
No, come on.
So
I mean nobody's above lying when they're very entrenched in their positions. Generally, that's
right. Well, that was like, I mean, really the overall like point I was like trying to get to, I guess. I mean, I didn't really have like a mission statement coming on the show, but like,
yeah.
I feel like people get really bogged down in their beliefs, and I'm like, most people don't like really know what they think they know, and there's always more context.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter how deep you get into it.
Sure.
And I just feel like people should like, I don't know, take that with them a little bit when they get into conversation.
That is very good advice, actually. That is, and that's kind of how I operate. Like I'm a very, I'm very open to anyone's point of view. I do like hearing people out, but there are people who are, they're very locked into their side. And, it goes for everybody. I'm not absolving anyone of this. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, it goes to show that you're willing to engage openly with people when you're like a Jewish guy who's like, yeah, so you're a Holocaust denier. Cool.
Sure.
Why?
Yeah, I like it. I don't know.
You don't
Something wrong with me.
You honestly don't hear that very often.
I mean, literally,
Yeah,
my
no, I think that's like-
mom listens to the show. She's like, "Why do you talk to these people?" I'm like, "I don't know. I like it. I like hearing them out."
Well, I think it kind of like, I don't know. I feel like there shouldn't be like barriers to like speak to people.
No, I agree.
I feel like that's why things bubble over and stuff. Like,
For sure.
like people would moderate a lot more both ways. If you're like, well, hey, crazy ass opinion, and you're like, well, what about my crazy ass opinion? And then you talk about it. People think a little. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the show is just me listening to people's crazy ass opinions most of the time. Anyways, I gotta let you go because I gotta wrap this up.
Wait,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely can.
Red Bar is watching.
Okay, I don't give a shit about Red Bar. Red Bar said he was going to follow me around for 6 months. Where the fuck did that go to?
No, I just thought I just wanted to hear what somebody would say about it. If
I don't
said it,
give two shits.
This is probably my only chance to talk to like somebody who's in that sphere.
Okay. I mean, I do this show and another call-in show twice a week. We have regulars. You can call in anytime you want. You want to call back?
Cool. I'll call back.
New episode of The Bathhouse tomorrow night. Low value mail every Monday night. Good talking to you, though. Thank you for calling in.
You too, Danny.
Take care. All right. Final caller. It's the final caller. Hello. Last call of the night. Who am I speaking
Hello.
with? Hello.
Danny, it's Zach. How are you?
Zach, what's up, pal?
Fantastic news. Martin Goldlust has been released from Hamas captivity. He is back. As God intended.
So I was meaning to repost that, but I was kind of going through some personal issues with my dog dying. But so the caller here made, not only did you make hostage posters of me, you were posting them all around Ithaca, New York. Is that correct?
Martin Goldlust and Danny Polishuk are two separate people. I'm sorry. I don't know where
Well, it
you're
was
getting
Martin
this
Goldlust,
wrong.
but with my face plastered all over Ithaca, New York. Did they get pulled down?
No, it's kind of annoying. They never got defaced or fucked up. That was kind of the whole point. They were supposed to get the face scratched off.
I guess a little too late. On that. You should have done it 2 years ago when people were all mad about that shit.
Yeah, it's like bell bottoms, but my heart was in the right place.
I'm going to post this. You know what? I'm going to post this for people who are listening in the. I'm going to post this in the Patreon chat so people can see it. Sign up for the Patreon, everybody. Patreon.com. Go ahead.
Excellent. It's still up there at the Green Street bus stop in Ithaca, New York. If you want to see Martin Goldlust, he's towering over everyone, demanding his shekels.
Legit hilarious.
I don't want to derail the conversation, but can I bring up Holocaust denial real quick, please?
Absolutely.
So earlier, a caller brought up Fred Leuchter and the Leuchter report as if it was evidence. Holocaust didn't
It's
happen.
evidence. It's
And you
evidence
asked
to
them-
him.
So when you ask, is there any sort of like critical refutation?
Sure. I mean, I asked
of the
these
narrative?
questions. Look, I asked these questions almost rhetorically. I know there is. For that one guy, I know there's probably 50 refutations of what he said.
Well, there's a really amazing documentary by Errol Morris, who later went on to do The Fog of War and Fast, Cheap, and Out of Control. It's called Mr. Death, The Rise and Fall of Fred A. Leuchter Jr., where he like interviews the guy and has film of him going to Auschwitz, gathering the samples. And then he sent samples of the walls of the gas chambers off to be tested, and then didn't say test the surface. They like smashed them into bits and diluted them by 1,000,000 times.
Sure.
Anyway, it's a really great documentary, and it is absolutely fascinating. And it lets you get inside of the guy in the mind of this guy who like designed, like lethal injection machines.
Sure.
And shit.
Well, Jared, should check it out. I'll watch it. Also, I just checked an early life section on Errol Morris, Jewish. Therefore, whatever he puts out after that, suspicious.
Or that's what they want you to think.
Or that's what they want you to think. That's how it works. Yep. That's how it works. Yep. Anyway, Zach, thank you for calling in. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much.
Zach, everybody. And that my hostage poster is up in the Patreon chat now. You can go check it out. That has been the show, everyone. That's been the show. Join the Patreon. Patreon.com/low value mail. Rest in peace to my boy Connor. It's been a tough week, but that's life, I guess. I don't know. That's what I tell myself. The religious people really have this stuff figured out with all this death stuff. The more I was dealing with this, I go, man, religious people figured out grief. That is like a perfect algorithm for the human brain. All right. That has been the show. Thank you very much, everybody. Someone said, go piss, bro. How the fuck did you know? Because I got to piss so bad. That's been the show. Thank you very much. Shout out to Gerard, our producer. Does a great job on the old ones and twos. And that's it. Rip Connor. Rest in peace. Rest in power, Connor, dog. You will be missed. The greatest co-host the show has ever seen. I will see you tomorrow night on a new episode of The Bathhouse, 9 p.m., live from the Stand Comedy Club Green Room. That's been the show. Thank you for joining me, everybody. It was great talking to you, and I will see you all next week. Good night.
Really a poet, you know it, all my shit heroic. Empathic abilities, yeah, my face be also stoic. Bleep, blow up, nigga, that just means I'm working. They see me as a leader, so that's why I'm Captain Kirkin. These tracks from the stars, that much is for certain. You can feel this hit if you up or if you hurtin'. I'm raising my stock, not talking my feet in some Birkin. Number Johnny 5, got a fucking short circuit. Bring the track to life when I spit phenomenal. When I hit, she feel that shit in her abdominals. These rappers make me laugh like comic view, they comical. You know I got a ball out, I hit the track running just like Sonic do. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. They was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. And they tried to down me up some KO type shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. Now we pulling up fresh on some flight shit. Ha. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. They was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. Then they tried to down me up some KO type shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. Now I'm pulling up fresh on some flight shit.